Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures trying to hold on to positive territory here to kick off the new week. Coming off the worst weekly performance for the Dow since back in October. Stocks were mostly lower, if you remember back on Friday, as new economic projections from the Fed sent a lot of people to the sidelines as far as when we might be getting a interest rate hike. 2023, they're talking possibly more than one. On Wednesday last week, they raised their inflation expectations for the next 2 years, in fact. So that sent a little bit of caution throughout the overall market. Once again, last week's sell-off tied to those stocks that were, being closely watched as far as affected by the reopening of economies. We'll talk about some of the travel names coming up here, retail names in focus as well. Nike with earnings coming up on Thursday. Meanwhile, Bitcoin back under pressure. Reuters reporting over the weekend that China expanding its tightening and crackdown of mining in that country. So we'll talk about some of the crypto-related stocks and the squeeze stocks, of course. Back on watch as well, that Torchlight Energy, the main focus, it would appear this morning, but lots of volume in AMC. As always, it's Monday, June 21st, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Nicely positive for the Dow. In fact, 0.6 at this point to the upside, leading the way. As I mentioned, worst weekly performance for the Dow since back in October last week. So we'll see how things shape up here as we head towards the open. 0.4 almost for the S&P there. Everything else in positive territory. Yeah, outside of cryptos, look at that. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum under serious pressure. We're back towards the lows. If you go back to the daily time frame, guys, good morning. It is Monday, a rainy one here in Toronto, but we had a pretty good weekend, so that's okay. It needs to rain. But yeah, some more Chinese chatter when it comes to regulations and tightening, I guess, for crypto markets. So under pressure once again.
Yeah, it's going to take the majority of mining, of course, happening in China, and it's like 75% of world mining capacity going to be under pressure and going down. But that is not the only story. We're going to talk about some crypto. There's a lot happening this week. And there's a mover this morning. This AEI, man, it just popped up on the radar. Brendan, saw you tweeted about this one. Now up 57%. So there are movers, there are shakers. There is still AMC doing a couple of million shares here and some of the meme names. And then we'll be looking at some travel as well. It's going to be a lot to get to. It's going to be a fantastic week. It was a perfect weekend, Father's Day. Watched a little basketball. What an unbelievable Game 7 that was for Milwaukee and the Nets. That was pretty legendary, although I actually thought, like, oh my God, Durant for sure, Sean, is going to hit that shot. Like, I assumed it was going in, and then, of course, congratulations to Milwaukee. They did a fantastic job, but it just seemed like the Nets shouldn't have been beatable, but injuries happen to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem when you are with a basketball team or any sports team when injuries can play a factor. I mean, Durant probably shouldn't have even hit that first shot, but and then his foot would have been on the line anyways, cause overtime. But last night, sorry to all you Philly fans. I just told Neil you guys probably should have traded for Kyle Lowry, but that never happened. So we'll move on from Philly. And if you're in Philly, then you know what I'm talking about, or a basketball fan last night with Ben Simmons. Yeah, look, I'm a little bit sad about this whole. I was mentioning to Brendan on Friday that I got into a little bit of cash there, a stable coin with some of the Bitcoin stuff going on. But yeah, I was a little nervous about the weekend. People were talking about a death cross and things like that. That's not the story today, but down from 31, 36. It was just 36,000 just a couple hours ago. Now you're back down to 32,000. So we're going to have to watch out for Bitcoin. We're going to watch out for Ethereum. We've got a bunch of stuff on board. The sticky note is out with a bunch of names on it as well, including Torch. We're into that already, the short side. We're going to be watching AMC through 64.65. What else do I like on here? CCL should be a good one. And then Nike's approaching a pretty key level here of 125.50. So I did want to watch that. We're ways up from there right now. But on the daily chart, if I can get it to load, when I can get it to load, you're going to see down here, it's 125.50. It's these little candles. Forget about some of these because they didn't happen, but it's right around here, 125.50. So we'll see Nike, they report later on, but right now we've got an 11-cent winner on Torch to the downside. So let's see where this one can go.
Just seeing a headline here on Uber. Guys, not much of a reaction, basically no reaction from the stock, but I'll show you this. They are going to acquire, I should say, the remaining portion of this Corner Shop Global LLC that they don't already own. So it looks like that deal is pretty much done. So that's just coming out. As far as Uber, as I said, yeah, not doing a heck of a lot. Just sitting here at $50 for Uber. Before we go any further, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Hi guys, finally it's Monday. I wish you a profitable, positive day. Please enjoy the show and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. Yeah, there's a number of things to get through before we get to the open. Under an hour, obviously, before we get to the open. This morning, I want to talk about this. There's a couple of things, actually. SPAC related this morning, this HCIC. Hennessy Capital, if you remember, is the name of the actual SPAC, but they're going to merge with that EV or autonomous trucking company that, what was it called again? I can't think of it right now, but I'll come up with it here. Plus is the name of the company. So Amazon comes out this morning and says they're going to reportedly order a whole bunch of trucks from this Plus. So Hennessy Capital, a little bit of SPAC action this morning, guys. There's ACIC, and then there's also Bill Ackman's SPAC. They confirmed over the weekend they're acquiring the 10% of Universal Music that was rumored to happen, if you remember back a couple of weeks ago, from Vivendi over in Italy.
Yeah, SPACman finally getting his deal done. And initially, when that came out, you saw the stock get beaten up a little bit. But the HCIC is interesting from the price action standpoint because it essentially comes all the way back to that magical $10 level. And we've seen this happen before, where you get that any kind of a spike that happens on the deal being announced, and then you're right back towards previous prices. So I don't know, the volume's okay here. Like maybe it's got another shot for a potential breakout at that 1035. Maybe it holds that floor at 10 even. If I'm kind of kicking myself because it was obviously a chance on a rollover to be able to catch a little short here, but the volume needs to hold up or really come back in off of the open. Maybe you can catch a little bit of a break, but as a lot of these do, it looks like they're selling them off once they get that news, guys. So HCIC, not necessarily any different at this point, at least.
I think some people asking about some crypto. Yeah, I would think I would wait a little bit to let this all settle down. I mean, Ethereum's down to that 1900 spot right now, guys. So, I mean, this is the spot where if you go over to a daily chart, you'll see what we're talking about. It's right at these like breaking levels here. We could go down to 1500 or so on ETH. So I would say watch out. Cardano still has that dollar peg to it. So watch out for that. I didn't sell, like I sold this on Friday, like some Ethereum, like at 2200 or so. So it's not like it's any better right now. And then some Cardano like at 140 and it's only at 129. So it's not like we're going down like crazy here, but that's what's happening right now. I would wait on crypto if I were you guys. You could get, I mean, you probably will get Bitcoin back to 30 where it's at 33, right? 32 right now. We just talked about that. We just did cover some Torch here as well. Yeah, we just covered it at 836 there. So, I mean, it dipped down to 36 the first time. We didn't get any out. Then we just took some out right now at 36. So now it's back upside. Take a little bit of profit everywhere. Look, I'm not too interested in any of these SPACs, guys. I don't like them for a day trade. I don't really like them for an investment. So I'm going to try to ignore some SPACs and just stay with what's been working, including AMC, BlackBerry, CCL, and a whole bunch of normal names that we're on. But yeah, watch out for them, man. The volume's going to pop in, and then we'll start to look at them off the open.
Yeah, let's jump into some of these stocks that we were dealing with last week. We're going to get a little bit of a look here at the overall market in a couple of minutes. But let's talk about that Torchlight, guys. We had a big move in it last week, obviously. Came all the way back. We're seeing a little bit of a bump to the upside. There was a headline on it specifically outside of the rest of them today, just talking about some of the executives and transactions purchasing more shares. But if you remember, I think it was this day we mentioned it on the show. If you go to the daily chart, we got up through that 5 on huge volume. So here we are coming up to 9 today for this Torchlight.
Yeah, there's not really, I mean, up here, there's not going to be any obvious levels, but it was worth noting at 7 o'clock, you get the ramp. 835 was at top. It tries to break out through 9. It slides back in. So you get an even dollar sort of failure and a consolidation lower. You get that set up. And then it finally tests that 835. You see the wick down. Now, this is the key. Like when it comes back and bounces up, this is that previous floor at about 855. Does it roll over there? That's when I start getting in, when it looks like it's going to roll over past that previous support, hopefully continue that downward trend. And then you're looking for an 835 break. You know, this little top up here, like an 890 or so, gives you one stop if you like it. It's still like 50 minutes to go till the open, but if I put on that idea of 9:30, I don't like averaging into a trade, or you have a tighter stop going into the open, anticipate that high being made. So that would be like that 8:30, sort of that 9:30 area stop, like you get 885, 890, that kind of an area, and then you can work it to that high a day. But that's the key. It's got to break this 835 down here in terms of how far it can go from that point. I mean, it was a $6 stock before. It's a meme name, so you always have to be a little bit careful when you have some of these squeeze stocks pushing against you. But you know, it does have a lot of room to run, and it showed a couple of signs of that nice little rollover trade here in Torch. So initially, we're going to be short. I'm not going to be anticipating buying a dip in this particular one. If it's going to go, it's likely to be a more of a breakout style trade. But that's a pretty significant gap from last week to completely ignore the fade setup.
Yeah, I have. I just have this 925 as the spot to get out. So we'll be shorting it all the way up to 925 there on Torch. You know, see the big move. I know people are talking about it's a merger play, things like that. So we'll wait to see what happens around 925. See if we're wrong at that point. That's why we do take out. You know, we're short 54s. We just took some 36s. So we'll take out that little bit, and then we'll see if we can drop back down to 6 and change. If we do, that'll be a big move. So I just asked. I saw green. What was it? Green Mountain Trees. I don't know what it was. Green Mountain Trees. Oh, that is what it was. They want to know, Valeria, what your favorite stock is. So we'll come back. Okay, we'll come back and we'll ask you, Miss V. We'll get you some more camera time, and we're going to ask Miss V off the next little break here, Brendan, what her favorite stock to trade is. I think we all know what it is, but we'll ask and we'll get her on camera.
Yeah, definitely a well-known one, but yeah, we'll get that to you in a couple of minutes here. Let's bring in Mark Roberts first off, president of Sun Lake Strategies, and get his take on the brand new week, brand new trading session here Monday morning. Mark, good morning. Hope you had a nice weekend. It was a beautiful one here in Toronto, but a little rainy today. So we're back at it. I mean, coming off the Fed, coming off what happened Thursday and Friday, we got the sell-off, I guess, the follow-through sell-off Thursday and Friday. We're back to some support levels, however, on the overall market that we saw going back a month or two, back. What are your overall thoughts here for the market going into a brand new week?
Well, you've got little evidence of anything changing with the Fed as far as immediate changes. We know they're going to raise rates. The conversation that's happening today is maybe Mr. Powell walks back a little bit of the confusion when he testifies on Tuesday. That's a possibility. Also, the other side, the Treasury Secretary and other regulators are meeting with Mr. Biden today. I think they're trying to be very careful, and when the message isn't clear, they'll walk it back. The markets itself, I was looking for that 41.33 area. We got down to 41.26, so it triggered a oversold buy for me in the middle of the night, if you will, which I don't trade, but I'm looking at that level now. If we don't hold, we go down to 40.75. If we do hold, we can make a nice little bounce in here for a day or two.
Given that, that major catalyst that we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks happened and is now passed, we're back towards the bottom end of the range on the daily time frame. Is there something coming here in the next, even couple of weeks that could be a catalyst for the overall market? And if not, what's the likelihood that we just kind of stay in this overall range for a while?
Well, you're going to keep getting jobs reports coming out, which is key for the Fed. It's also key for rates. We got down to 136, I think it was, in the 10-year overnight. This doesn't bode well for those that believe rates are turning immediately. So I watch the 10-year. I don't listen to the noise. Sure, as an investor, you're getting pushed around and shoved with your positions because many funds are moving quickly in and out of things. But if you take the noise away for the minute, the 10 years telling you rates have got plenty of time. before they start pushing higher.
It feels a little more cautious as well heading into this new week. You know, a little bit more cautious looking. COVID data coming out of both Eastern Europe and then out of Asia as well, even Japan, you know, ahead of the Olympics as well. How much is the market going to pay attention to this going forward? You know, if we do start to see that coming, you know, further west across through Europe possibly, or even into North America once again?
Well, I think the Delta variant, which was out of parts of Asia, is in about 40 U.S. states at the moment. I think it's going to affect it. It's psychologically, if nothing else. A cruise ship had a problem. You will have more problems. I've been much more lenient in going out and doing things, but restaurants are starting to put tables closer together. People are still standing closer together. You've got to have spikes going into the fall months for sure. We'll see how that plays out.
All right. Does that then affect some of these stocks that we've been talking about on the reopening side of things? And I speak, you know, primarily on the retail side of things. Nike coming Thursday with earnings this week. Are there any others, maybe more, you know, brick and mortar type of retails that you're watching this week?
Not really. I'm really watching the industrials and the tech in a broader sense to see if those flows of funds stabilize. They've been moving around so quickly, your head spins. And gold is another one, down $80 on, I think it was Friday, is just incredible. It just shows how crowded these spaces are. So you just have to take your points of interest, buy some stock or sell some stock, and wait until things stabilize.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
Good. Love the opportunity to get a chance to talk everything stocks with you. And, you know, some of the research notes you've been sending out have been incredible. I did want to talk quickly, though, just because we haven't mentioned this with you in a long time. What about crypto here? Today, Ethereum. And, you know, let me know if you want to talk about this maybe on Wednesday if you don't have anything for today. But Ethereum today just cracks back down. I have the chart up here. Cracks back down below 2,000 today for the first time in a bit. That was a level that a lot of traders were looking at, now back down to 1,500. And the same thing for Bitcoin. Looks like it's going to be near 30,000. Can we just review maybe right now what you've been hearing and maybe your own opinion on what percentage of a portfolio maybe for some of our traders? And again, it's going to be different for everybody. So judge your own, you know, investment goals and everything like that. But where do you believe crypto now that it seems like it's heading southbound? What part of a portfolio maybe should this be now, you know, for the average investor?
Well, I still think 5%, 8%. I'm in a lot of cash. I'm in some gold, but I still think crypto, unfortunately, is a headline risk, whether it's Chinese, Indian, the regulators here. I don't think it's over yet. I'm looking more for crypto to go toward 25,000. Right. So for me, I'm on the sidelines in here, not surprised by pressure. And the rallies have been uninteresting, if you will.
Yeah. This is a. I feel like this is a Mark Roberts, Sean Katina type chart right here, because if you look at Bitcoin that I have up right now here, this 30,000. Look at these clusters. I mean, so many here back to January, February, around 30,000, and then we're clustering like crazy right now. But you're exactly right. I put a poll up the other day about 40,000 versus 30,000. Looks like it's going to come back right down to 30,000 right now, and then we break there. I may even look a little lower. 25, 20. Yeah, that's a good spot to buy. And that's what I sort of started the show with. So I'm glad we're on the same ideas here. All right, over back to now traditional, I guess, more investing in stock and portfolio weighting and things like that. Unfortunately, my chart's not very good here. But JP Morgan and some of these bigger, you know, well-run banks, like I picked JP Morgan just because of Jamie Dimon. I know there's benefits with a Goldman Sachs and a Morgan Stanley more on the trading side. But right now, with financials kind of breaking down, I'm sort of thinking maybe you sell individual names and go into an ETF like an XLF or something like that, or maybe even you mentioned the regionals last week. Where do you stand? Are you still looking at some of those regional plays, or is now a time when we've come off from 170 JP Morgan down to 150, 148 today with pressure coming to the downside? Is it time to pick these up yet, Mark?
I tend not to look at the XLF. I tend to look at the KRE,
Right.
which is the regional bank ETF.
Yep.
So the answer is yes, I'm in the Morgan Stanleys, the Goldmans, the Berkshires, a lot of insurance names, but lower rates don't help these. So I'd rather look at the KRE and maybe even sell or short some of the individual names on rallies. Wells Fargo keeps coming up in my book as a potential long, so I'm watching that. But on balance, I'm not jumping into the JP Morgans yet. For a quick trade, once they turn, sure, you'll make $1 or $2. But as far as where it is right now, 146, 144 looks like an area I'd probably wait for. KRE, I'd rather do.
So if you're in a bank like a JP Morgan right now, would you be rotating out? I have KRE right here. It's actually at a great spot mark, $62, $63. I mean, this has been the bottom. You can basically get it back to February prices right now if you were to pick some up. Is it worth rotating out of some of the big banks and into this, or just hold your position if you are in a JP Morgan? Because like you mentioned, maybe a couple bucks here or there.
I'd probably hold the position in JP Morgan, but if it can't get back above 152, that's a good selling point for me. KRE is an easier way to play it.
Is there a name? Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get your opinion on the banks because I'm in JP Morgan, been buying that for a while, just holding it for the dividend, like the high quality name, but now I'm getting a little nervous. Not so much about the interest rate, just the whole space right now seems to be overdone. Is there any names that we haven't discussed maybe today that might be on watch for you this week? Any key levels? I know we talked a little bit about Nike, but anything else you may be interested in?
I'm watching Honeywell. It's an interesting stock. It's always been the thick industrial name, but for me, this has gone much, much more into tech. So I'm looking at that. I think that has nice legs on it on the way back up.
Honeywell, yeah. Honeywell back down to 213. I actually just wound up buying Caterpillar. I don't know, my chart's not going back past May here, but I like Honeywell, and I do like Caterpillar right now as well, even though having some data issues here with the charts. Mark, we'll be watching all of these today and later on this week. Thank you for joining us once again, Mark Roberts for Sun Lake Strategies.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, guys, let's get some analyst moves to kick off the week. Once again, we have energy stocks to watch. If you remember, pretty negative coming off of last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to the downside. So Oxy on here to the upside. There's Kroger. This little real estate trust was, I guess it's not terribly small, but pretty active is what I'm trying to say in the pre-market here. Intel to the downside today. Price target cut, guys, from Citigroup and Rio Tinto on that side of the board as well.
It's interesting, Oxy on the upgrade side, of course, basically trading flat now. They're a little more than just the energy play there with the plastics and chemicals as well. But key level here forming on Oxy, because you get this like 27.75 area, previous resistance on the way upside. You had that failure off the high of the day, well, that's the 52-week high there, right at about that 32, and you put that lower high when it resists 30. So something we kind of thought could happen has, and now if you can hold this level on the upgrade side, you're probably going to get a couple of dollars worth of a move. But 27.75, that gets taken out this week. Could be some downward action back into that 50-period moving average. So big level approaching here on Oxy, of course. And just before we get into this, we do talk about positions here as well. So on our watch list is MNOV. It did just make a bit of a spike to the upside. It's failed 3 times, well, technically twice at like 590 or so. I tried the short in front, got stopped, and then got accidental long, but it finally made a move into the downside. And I'm using this 550 level because there's a harsh move down. It held 520 and then consolidated off of 550. So the second time it popped up, I took some shares here at 28s. I'm going to scalp some out in front of 5 because there was all kinds of support there before. If it breaks 5 at the open, I think this is one of those that could sort of slide right back in and just be one of those all day long type of short ideas, but will not average in to that short into 9:30 as always, but still have some time to work it.
We just got back, we just left Mark Roberts, and unfortunately the chart wasn't working. This was the Caterpillar move down. You know, I just bought some at 217 right here. We did get that nasty move down off. I mean, I thought the I bought it because of Powell and the Fed, because I'm not in any value stocks, really. I mean, I'm in Boeing and I'm in some of the banks. I mean, you know the positions I'm in. I'm in IBM from a value tech standpoint, but nothing really Caterpillar-wise. So as far as that is concerned, we'll get to agriculture names, but I like where this one just dipped down to. I mean, if you got it around $2, that was pretty nice. I still think we could test 190. We'll see what happens today. A good spot to hide, though, some of these industrials. I mean, I guess I do own GE and things like that. So I am pretty well diversified, but I just did pick up some Caterpillars. So if you guys want to, play around with my SPAC there, Caterpillar has been added to the portfolio.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear him mention that. Honeywell, it's come back a long way. I didn't realize that. For HON, let's get into what is moving around in the pre-market, guys. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the morning note. We send it out every single morning before we come on at 8:30, absolutely free to you. That is the link you need to use to grab that morning note every single morning. As I mentioned, Valeria will be more than happy to help you out in the chat if you do need that address again. Let's get going here, guys. We'll jump into the squeeze stocks or meme stocks, whatever you want to call them, as they are or were the most active by far in the pre-market once again this morning. Whole bunch of them to talk about here. We mentioned the TRCH. Popped up last week in this group. We'll discuss that a little bit here, but let's have a look maybe at the GMEs, the Clovers, the other ones as well.
The others, AMC as well, of course. We'll talk about that just because it's done 3.5 million shares plus in volume today. And we talked about that 60 level last week. It tried to hold up right at that close. You're going to get a bit of a push down, holds 58 at least. But look, we're going to come in this week and it's still going to be that 65. So it was a top last week. It was a top on Friday. And you're going to see if we can't get that kind of a breakout here. We've already touched past a slight level at 62.50. And then if you're gonna look at that sort of dip buy kind of thing, which today, I mean, feels perilous because the last couple of Mondays it's been all breakout, right? Like wherever it's broken out from, it's basically taken off and then dip buy for the rest of the week. So you kind of lean into that notion and you're saying to yourself, okay, well 62's gone. 65 is kind of like you're talking about $3 move into the open and then break into 65. So that's kind of tight as well. I think looking at that 62.50 area is probably going to be the best bet. It's about 13 cents higher than that, the current pre-market high. So you're sort of splitting hairs there. If you are looking for that dip, it is worth noting right at that, well, not right at the close, but right near the close, we did drop all the way back into this 57 area and there was a big move. And watch these guys mirror each other, that 65 failure, and then dropping right back into 57. It's like 56 3/4. So that's probably the one place where you want to jump in there pretty definitively, saying, okay, 57, that's your level. Twice 65 is reversed into that price level. So one of those two has to go this week, right? So I'm going to be thinking, given how good the volume is held up, that it could be to that upside here on AMC. If it's going to be the dip buy, I'll probably be very, very patient off of this open given what happened the last couple of Mondays. Otherwise, it's that 62, we'll call it 62.65, because that 50 is already gone.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are the same levels that I was. I mean, we don't need to talk too much about levels. They're pretty obvious right here for us. 62.5 is right there. And then if you do have it on a 20 period, I wrote down on the sticky note, which you guys can see. People have been asking about it. Valeria can post a link as well. Oh, yeah, what about Ford, actually? Wrinkled hippie? What about Ford? We forgot about Ford. We'll look at Ford in a minute. I do like that one. I think it's down to, what, 1450 right now or so? We'll look at it. But this 64, I just want to see a test. I think it does again. I mean, we didn't really test it yet. We tested it back here on the 15th, and we tested it on Friday, the 18th. And then I don't really... I mean, I just said we didn't really test it yet. I mean, what I mean by that is that we didn't really hold up at all. We came here and then both times hit it and then crashed through. So I want to see it hold up here, 64. So we will take a 64 break. But then if it does break, I mean, the last time it broke 64, we traveled all the way back down. I guess that's not that far, actually, now that I look at it on Friday. We traveled back, that was right off the open, and then we traveled back to 61. That's not too far, so I'm not too worried about that. It was this move sort of here where we tested it, and then we came all the way back down to 58. So that was sort of, the move back down off that 64 level. So let's see if we can keep it high here on AMC. And then I just wrote down on here, we'll wait to test the 58 level. So if we can come back down, we'll see what happens here around 58. So Basically, I'm just going to be averaging in long all the way down to 58. And then we'll see what happens when we get to 58. The momentum will get us out around 57.50. And then if we have to go crazy long, we have a 200 period here on the 20, which is at 57. And I think 56 is held pretty good. So again, you know, I will lose like crazy. If AMC comes back down to 58, I'll be in a losing position because I'll be averaged into that one. So that's AMC for you. Do we want to talk about more names now, Brennan, on the squeeze plays? Or
we can come back. Actually, Arun's standing by here, so let's get Arun in here and talk about the market overall, and then we'll jump back into some of these because there are quite a few doing volume this morning. Arun, as mentioned, back with us this morning to have a look at the overall market and talk about the futures a little bit. Coming off, obviously, Friday's big event, the index rebalance. Arun, what do we look at today?
Yeah, you know, the big volatility event is out of the way now. So the market kind of set up some levels for us to work with. On Friday, you saw a lot of congestion in this area, in the 70 area where we're at now, 41.70 going all the way up into the 80s as well. So the market gave us a decent amount of levels to work with, set up some volume zones that we can actually play off of. So the first one I'm looking at is the same area from Friday. When the market was actually in the pre-market, it kind of set this up by breaking through the 90s. The high to mid 80s seems like there's a lot of interest there. So from 80s going all the way into the 42.05 area, I'm looking for potential shorts there. It worked well on Friday. The zone is actually a little bit wider than that, but just in terms of risk reward ratios, I like it to be in the 80s, but the action does start in the high 70s. So if you are willing to take on more risk, then you can start looking for shorts in the high 70s. Me personally, I'm going to wait for the mid 80s if we can get there to kind of take that shot. That's the first one. The second one we can work with is in the 50s, sub 50, around the 41.50 area, right towards the close. You saw that drop in the futures right into the final minute or so, but there was a lot of congestion there right at the end there because, you know, towards the end of the day, there was a lot more volume running through the board as we go into the close. So right underneath 50, I've got 41.45 marked off as a support potential area. So if we come down into the mid 50s, I'm looking for some form of support that I can actually catch a long off of. So 41.55 is there for you in terms of support. And then 42.05 is above you for potential shorts if you decide to go in that direction. Currently, we are looking at some buy strength. So I'm going to wait to see if we can get into that mid 80s. To actually catch a short, but it does look like there's some buy strength, but we got to get through a lot. There's a lot of volume being traded through the mid 70s, going all the way up into the 90s. And then I've got the stop at 42.05. So, but there is a lot of action to work with. But at the same time, if you're looking for trades immediately, you might have to wait a little bit. There's nothing in these price points or at these price points at the moment. So you may have to wait a little bit just to get that trade in the mid 80s or at least into the mid 55 area, 41.55. So you can actually play with the 41.45 as a support. So there's a couple trades there, just you're gonna have to wait for them.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Yeah, a little bit more of a range over the past couple of days in the pre-market for the futures, which is definitely good to see for volatility. Let's jump back into a couple of these squeeze stocks. I want to talk about context logic, guys, because we had a positive note, a positive note out here on context logic to mention this morning. So again, among the most active as far as volume is concerned here in the pre-market, just talking about they're not only a squeeze stock, but up here 5.5%, trying to hold $12, which if you remember was a big area initially at the open going back to Friday's session. So Wish looking pretty positive here, guys.
It's interesting you say trying to hold $12 because there's a bit of, I mean, I don't know, it's an even number, of course, and 12 even is going to stand out, but there's a bit of not an iceberg, but level forming here going into that open. You had a spike up sort of around that news up to like a 12.25, I mean, 75 to 25, and then pulling back into 12. Like if that's about as structured and clean as it's going to get. So I'm going to be watching that level right away off of the open. I mean, the daily chart's going to show you it's trying to hold support here off that gap. And what was previously like 1165 to 1175 was previously support on the way down before meme status. And you come out and then go into all of last week's action. You look at these fail breaks here, never got past 1215 on that one break. We did get past this 1215 area one time, and that was going to be on, I think it was on Tuesday, and it got to like 1250. So, you know, there's some room potentially to run, but I think 1250 stands out. It's going to have to break through that level to get any kind of an outsized move. And last week, every time it approached here, it turned into a bit of a short. What's really good about it, if you're a bull on this trade, though, guys, is you get a nice little upward trend sort of forming, and then on the weekly holding this higher low off of that $10. So it does feel like one that I want to stay away from the short. I mean, I've already sort of picked Torch and going to get that MNOV if we're going to be in the meme stocks to the south side. I want to be looking at 1250 to that long side trade. I just kind of feel like you're missing the boat. So I'll probably look at a dip at around like 1150, and if it can hold something like that, it just feels like context might actually have a move in it to that upside. If it does 930 push, fail 1250, I mean, that's a short setup that I pretty much almost have to have. It doesn't feel like it has the juice in it right now to get there in the next 20 minutes, but you never know.
Yeah, no, so I have the same ideas here, and again, it's on the watch list for me at 1225. So if we could break through 1225, we're going to go long right here, 1225. So you'll see me put that into the trade. You know, good positive talk today. Brendan just brought up that article there. I mean, I still don't think the stock is a great long-term investment, but we've already been down to 8. We retested it. We did have that rip up. We've been holding 10 pretty good. So I think that this 12, I think Neil's right. If you can, I mean, always, if we're looking long, I mean, dips are better prices. So down into here, 1130, 1150 would be fantastic, but I'm not going to really shy away at all from this 1225 high break. So if that comes through, you'll see me punch into the high. And then right now we're averaging into Torch. We just took, I mean, that's why we took some, it's not why we took some out, but, you know, if we're going to be shorting against the top of the pre-market, then we got to get out at the bottom of the pre-market, right? So we did average in there, and then we got some out at 834, 835. We only got out of one piece. We got out of 1/3 of this, so we're still in trouble there. And then we've averaged it up. We're getting ready to that 925 right now. So if that does break, I should have enough shares to reverse long. We'll take one more average short, I believe, and then we'll see what happens upside. But right now you're pushing that 9. This is getting away from us a little bit. We're short at 872, out of the money 20 pennies. We did take 20 pennies, but now it's looking like we are going to test the top here on this Torch.
Okay, apologies if you guys mentioned this one, but I just saw this popping up again. BlackBerry, guys, back to day highs, essentially, or the pre-market high, I should say, 1.5% here for BlackBerry. I did see a note saying QNX software now embedded in 195 million vehicles worldwide, which was up 20% year over year for BlackBerry. So another one kind of active here, holding 13 as support.
There's too many of them. Like that 14 level, if it ever gets there on BlackBerry, was pretty significant, at least to end of the week. I mean, we saw it crash into that price in the pre-market and then just absolutely get flushed. It is setting up, and I mean, it is setting up for a bit of a break, and the same thing in the pre-market here. And if you're looking at what happened to AMC, every Monday was going to be a bit of a push. There's news on Wish or Context Logic. There's at least some good positive news here on BlackBerry as well, which gives them some juice to the upside. And you got to start thinking about, okay, well, if it rejects off a level like 14, I'll come back a little bit here. If it rejects off a level like 14 a couple of times, makes a washout long, and then you get that 14 test. Holding a higher low here off of like, we'll call it like 1250. If that holds on BlackBerry, then I think you're going to get at least another test of 14 even before you test that 1220 low. So I'd like to try to be involved in that one if it can get there. On the other, the other side of that coin is it's too significant a level, so it's fine. Like if you get that dip buy, maybe catch a little bit of a break, you get a scalp win out there. But if it gets up to that 14, it's going to be difficult not to be thinking about a short, given what that level has sort of given to you a couple of times here. So I think you got to be able to play this one in both ways. I also do think that if you're playing the meme stocks, you do need to consider which ones are you going to be active in at the open, right? So if I'm in Torch and I know there's a 99.99 repeating chance that I'm going to be involved in AMC, and then Context Logic is another one that I want to trade, throwing BlackBerry into the mix, even though there's some setups that are there, like, yes, okay, fine. 13 breaks at the high, fair enough. It dips down and holds 1250. That's a good dip buy as well. But if I'm going to be playing in some of the other names, you can't be active in absolutely everything. And just, case in point, I just got into Wish on that dip. So that just made a bit of a dip. I just got 77s long. So probably not going to have BlackBerry at the open, or maybe at 9:30. We'll certainly be looking at it all session long, especially if it gets to that 14 level, which I think is a big one here, Brendan.
All right, let's go to crypto. Sean talking about the move overall in Bitcoin back to the bottom end of the daily chart range. I want to show you this headline, if I can, real quick, from our friends over at Seeking Alpha here. MicroStrategy buying another 13,000 plus. It was actually a little bit higher than 13,000 coins. They now hold 105,000 coins. So MSTR, yeah, I mean, it's $600, but down 7.5% here for MicroStrategy.
They are now the proxy. I mean, and the thing about it is, the Bitcoin essentially, if I'm not mistaken, we're basically almost precisely cut in half from the top, maybe a little bit more than that. But MicroStrategy is not significantly, but certainly a bit more than that. And we've talked about this in the past with your Riots and your Maras, that you get outsized moves to the downside. In this case, you're getting a little bit of that as well. Overall, that being said, this is not the best. Like MicroStrategy is not really a day trading vehicle, right? Like if you want to tell me that you want to trade in Riot and Mara to express your Bitcoin, express moves in Bitcoin as opposed to like GBTC or just trading spot yourself, fair enough. But MSTR is probably for people who want like that long exposure and don't want to, for whatever reason, invest in the ETFs. So look, if we get a break of that 30,000 level, if this is what you're in, you're probably looking squarely at 575, 550. That's your area that probably has to hold here on MSTR. And then from there, if you retest some of those lows, I know Sean had already mentioned to the downside, you're watching that 400, and yes, it could get there. I just don't think this is a stock you want to be day trading. There are plenty of better ways to express a trade like that in Bitcoin. I just want to quickly come over, if I can, to, and I mentioned this one last week, SI. I had sold some Silvergate to get into some Coinbase. The only thing good about that trade is, okay, yes, it's pulled back, and Coinbase has somewhat stabilized here. Now, when you say stabilized, you got to keep in mind that Coinbase is sitting off these lows, but it's trying to hold a higher low. These pullbacks that you're seeing are a little bit deeper, and Coinbase was already under pressure anyways. That's my 15, which has decided to freeze on me, so we'll stay on the daily chart here. We're trying to hold this 217 level. That's going to be the key one coming in today. I think if it holds that dip, that'll be a successful higher low that gets put in. Otherwise, you're probably testing that 200. So this is a key price area. It's really starting to slow down, but I don't think we're going to get what we want out of this until you get a real bounce. So maybe it's again off 30,000, but if we test through 30, you're probably waiting for Coinbase to test 200 before you get in, whether it's your final lot that you went in or whether you've just been waiting to get into the stock the entire time, guys. So Coinbase, for the day trade, I'm looking 217 on the dip buy.
Yeah, I like Coinbase. I've been averaging into that one as well. And then I think if you're going to do a Bitcoin trade, you got to be on BTCC.B, which is a Toronto. It's the Purpose ETF, and it tracks Bitcoin basically 1-to-1. I've been watching it, and it's true. So bouncing around. Now today, you'll probably get this, maybe even into this 550, 560 area, something like that. We'll watch the price of BTCC. You can get it .U or .B. So .B up here is going to be for Canadian funds, and then .U is for US funds. And then there's also ETCC.B, which is the same thing, or ETHC, I think it was actually ETHC.B. In Toronto, so we'll wait to see on that one as well. But anyways, we'll find, it's going to load up. The point is that there are lots of different ways to get into Bitcoin. I think you got to watch out for GBTC on the pink sheets. You could trade that today, and then we do know that there's also Ethereum Trust, which is the same grayscale product, ETHE, over on the pink sheet. So if you do have access to OTC markets and you don't have access to Toronto, BTCC is in Toronto, but then I'd like you guys to trade ETHE or GBTC for Bitcoin. I'd stay away from all these other companies. Just if you want to trade the actual physical more than the companies, is my opinion.
Definitely got to keep an eye on Bitcoin, though, throughout the session today if we do get ever closer to that bottom end of the range. Let's talk about AEI. A couple of people still mentioning this. Alset eHome International Incorporated. I'll show you the story here, guys. They will deliver the first 20 eHomes they've made, including, you put Tesla in the mix here. Tesla PV solar panels, power walls, and EV chargers in the Houston area of Texas. That was AEI, still doing pretty impressive volume here.
Yeah, it's approaching 15 million on the session. We just actually were able to get some locates on the stock after not having them on the initial move to the upside. So I'm going to rattle off a couple of things here. We're going to go like 860 into this like 1125. That's sort of that target area. If it does like a parabolic move into the open, I think somewhere in there has got to be that fail rate where you at least think about shorting it. It was relatively expensive on the pay for shorts, like 18 cents a share. So I kind of want to, you want to get it in when you think there's going to be a bit of a move here, and we're holding fail break up to like 730, and then you had to pull back, and then you're going to get this push right into the high. So I think this like 7/4 where we had that fail break into that like 750 range is setting up pretty nicely. If we fail off the high, you're talking a breakdown at that 725 level, or you could look at that rollover short at 930 kind of idea there. With only if you're taking that trade, it's like 815, 820 into like an 830 high. I mean, you're not going to have a ridiculously large stop on that kind of a trade. And like I said, if it gets through that top, like 860 to like almost a $2 range, I'd be shooting somewhere in there for that resistance. And there's no particular level until you get to the top end of that range. So what probably stands out the most is going to be 7.25 here. If it holds that off the open, the only play I'd make to the south side, despite paying for the shorts, would be that fail right there at 830. So good story for them. Huge volume. But for $7 stock, the spread I've seen open up like 3, 4, 5 cents a couple of times here. So it should be a wild one.
I want to look at Carnival quickly here as well. Carnivals has this. I wrote down a multi-day low. It's not. Did I write down multi-day low on this list? No, I just say breakdown low. So it is on our sticky note right here. It's this level right here, about 27.85 or so, 27.90. Just looking to see what Carnival Cruise wants to do here. We do have a story on some of these cruise lines today. It's following its 50 period to the downside. This is just a 20-minute chart, so it's following it here to the downside, and then you do have this 27.85 area. So I did want to look at that as well today for CCL. And then a quick look, AMC, Palantir on the sell side. I guess we can always talk about that at some point. Well, we will. NEO, BAC. So everything right now pretty light. And it wasn't a very monumental rebalance either. So, I was sort of thinking if there might be some sort of leftover from here, but doesn't appear that way. NEO, not a horrible level right now that we're at NEO, $47. We've looked at that a little bit here. Nice little move upside. We're starting to crack up through that 50. I think the next stop for this is going to be 50. Was a little bit worried about it stopping at 50 due to some of those option eligibilities and things like that. So we're going to watch to see NEO if we can pick this up on a dip back down. This is what it looks like on the minute chart. I'm looking to see, we should be able to dip down here to about 46.50 area on NEO, which was the bottom from Friday. So looking to pick some of that up as Torch now starting to head into the money for us off that nice. It's unfortunate. I was sitting at 9, but on a paid gateway, we only went to 99, I guess. Now we start to come back to the downside here. Short 73s, we'll take a bit off. There it is. We take another piece off for a dime right now. And we've taken back-to-back dimes, but we still need this to come down even further. So right now, 20 cents into the money on Torch. So the money's coming in right here. We only have the one position. It looks like we'll go 1 for 1 on this. Temporarily, though, we're not going to hit the woohoos too much because we're still waiting for 9.25. So that could still come through and bust this trade. But right now, it's a big one here on Torch. You don't see me averaging too often this many times, but there it is up against that 9.25. So it's the second name on said watch list right there, Torch. So guys, so watch out for that name as we go down. So
let's continue along here. We'll go to the travel names. A number of kind of minor headlines, but worth paying attention to. I feel we mentioned with Mark some of the airlines, interesting guys. Most of them in positive territory, not terribly active. But data showed over the weekend 50 million U.S. airport passengers registered in May. That was up 19% from April. And in June, today is the 21st. Happy first day of summer, by the way, for everyone. 21st day of June. In June, the TSA has already registered 35 million to this point of the month. So positive numbers, anyways, to talk about for airlines.
Yeah, look, man, people want to travel, and there's no question about it here. But you're going to see, and I think Sean already talked about the chart in CCL there, so we can talk maybe about the airlines. And I'm just staring at one thing in the face on American Airlines here. It's you go into Monday, and there was this like 22.55, but 22.50, we'll call that the bottom. Then you get the breakdown here, and then just absolutely like tanking into a low, put in a higher low. We're consolidating right off 22.50. Market basically flat, but I'll look at that break and just say, okay, we'll take it. 22.50 into that upside trade there. It gives you maybe some juice into 23. Like remember, this is AAL, so if you're taking a break, you should be willing to take out, like 15, 20 cent winners, and then you get another push to the upside, and again, start scalping some out in front of that 23. Like, this is not, AL's not usually in one day going to give you a 22.50 break, and then you finally get a test of that next level up of like 23.75. I mean, it could happen. I'm just not sitting there betting on it. So I like 22.50. There's some opportunities, I think, in CCL that Sean's already gone through as well. So I think it's certainly a worthwhile trade. Every now and then we'll jump into the airlines when there looks like there's a setup. Today, that 50 level just gives you a nice little setup.
Yeah, what about Boeing here at 240 right here? So Boeing off of Friday's high, never got there, tried to get there, then had some resistance, not even too far away at 239 right here. Let me see if I can zoom this up a little. Put this up a little bit for you guys. 239, we did have a little bit of a problem at, but there's 240 right here. So looking at this level, last time we tried to break in the pre-market, so forget about, or the aftermarket, I don't know what time those are, it looks like the pre-market. Don't count those for too much because again, the volume's not gonna be there, so we're not worried about that, but some of these breaks there, 240 is there, and the last time we were here, guys, I mean, we haven't been here in a bit, so we had the downside 236. We can see where we go on a daily chart for Boeing. Here's a daily chart as well. I've liked this name for a bit. It just a little disappointed because it really hasn't done anything since March-ish. We did go up to 280, but I wasn't going to sell it. I think this thing has a lot more legs than that to the upside. And then you're right at, again, this is the 50 period right here, right at 240.73. We are touching down a little bit. Normally that's a negative sign for me that we've broken back down through the 50 period moving average. But still, the 240 is just looming right here. So this is what I wanted to get at last time when I said last time we were here. We've been here back in December, 240, 242, and then back again, breaking. So I think Boeing's one to look at 240. So we'll see what the Dow does. Remember, we were down 500 points on Friday. So I think we need to get a little bit of calm down here, see how we open up. And then if we could take out 240 high there on Boeing, I do like that. So we'll put in a little trade at 240 for Boeing. And then that way, if the Dow gets going, we'll have a little piece of it, but it's not going to be a big trade. It'll be enough to celebrate. Like if we can make $100 on it or something, then we'll be happy with Boeing. But we will take a 240 break. It's just right off the open, it might happen, and that scares me a bit. So 240 Boeing, but it's going to be small.
Minor headline here worth noting, Sean, specifically, you like this one. Simon Property Group, not doing a heck of a lot here in the pre-market, but they've just approved a 7.7% increase in their second quarter 2021 dividend. This is also one that has come back to some decent levels here, guys. SPG, right back to that last little breakout spot on the daily chart.
Yeah, I mean, SPG has been one that, I mean, you guys know, Daryl knows, if Daryl's watching this, I believe he's in this with me here. We just absolutely destroyed SPG. What it is, Simon Property Groups, he went with the best of the best, the high quality malls and things like that. And you want to talk about destroying it, I'm in on a double right now. And they pay huge dividend, and they just, that's great news. I mean, they just got an increase in their dividend. We were buying it, I mean, hand over fist here, guys, hand over fist. When it was down near $60, it never bothered to break it. We talked about this over and over again. Daryl, if you're on the chat, you can justify this play here with me because I know you're in it. We were buying this name over and over and over and over and over again, and then you get a nice little bump up. They were at like, down here was like 7, 8, 9, 10% dividend yield down here. They did cut it a little bit to get this back in, get the cash flow back. So now you see it, nice. I mean, that's a new news to me. So a good move there for Simon Property. I have no intentions of selling this one. This will be a forever hold for me with that dividend, the retail space. I'm not in this for anything other than the dividend. And then we got about a 50% or 100% capital appreciation. So just watch out for Simon. I mean, it's 3,000 shares, but a great long-term hold, guys. I would rather be in Simon than any retailer.
All right, let's discuss Uber here a little bit, guys. We mentioned the headline earlier. They're buying the rest or the remaining portion of that Corner Shop, which is a grocery delivery service that they don't already own. So that came in a little bit earlier. But Uber did pop up to 50 here and is coming in as we speak. But $50, big time level for Uber.
It's right in the middle of this cluster that Uber is sitting in. And you kind of hope that one of these catalysts will get it to that breakout at 52. I think some of the concern would be like if you get that market pullback and the exuberance from the open trade slows down. You saw what happened in some of the travel names there, and of course Uber, in my opinion, is also a bit of a reopen play and probably a pretty good one because I own it. It is what it is. 52 is going to be the real level. We break this, I think you're going to get that upsized move. Otherwise, I just don't see a heck of a lot happening in the day trade, and there is some concern that if the market slides, like if this cluster does break, you're probably like all about waiting for that 43 bounce. So I would stay away on the day trading side of Uber in the middle at this 50 level. Wait for the periphery. Catching bounces off those levels has actually been pretty good in either direction here. And then, sometimes it's just better to add to a position when the momentum comes in your favor. So maybe wait this one out, wait for like 52 to catch that break, wait for it to hold the day above like the 50 period or that 52 level, and then get that momentum back into the upside. It was significant resistance at the top. It's pulled back like 25% currently, but obviously it was a bit bigger than that before. So patience is a virtue with your longer term style plays here. And I don't think we're going to see much of a day trade on Uber based off of that. Just a couple of things. That MNOV made a nice move. We're able to get a little bit out. Whoops, that's still the daily chart. We're able to get a little bit out when it touched that 5 even. It then broke 5, hit this pre-market low here at 490. Once it did that, I'm going to get back in on the way up, but maybe take a little bit lower of a price. So 28s before. We'll take the low, the high teens here to get an average price now in the low 20s, just because we're breaking to a fresher low. So that 5 is now gone. It's now 490 that we need to break through off of the open to get that continuation. So MNOV working to the downside. Torch did bounce right back up a little bit, so we took some profit out, and we have to watch out for that spike potential spike at the open.
Uh-oh, Chris, you're going to be in trouble. So right here, Neil, Chris Henderson, taking a shot every time Neil says it is what it is.
You're in trouble, dude.
Hopefully those are shots of water, or else you're going to be in big time trouble. Look, so I just did give a new update here. Not a new update. I do want to get into something here with AMC. So a little break at 62. We'll test it here. We will watch out. We have 61.50 to the backside, and then 60.61. So we will try a little 62 break here on AMC, and then see if we can't get a little piece out. If we can get up to 63.50 off open, we will do that. Torch running now. We did cover some of that, but here it comes right back to the upside as we're getting ready to open up, guys. We do have, join us right after, just do this really quickly. If you're a member, we will be doing this at 11. Oh, it's with Mark Roberts today. Okay. We'll be doing this right after the show at 11:05. You can ask us Q&As. For anyone that's a member, $5. That's all we ask to support. We'll do about 35, 40 minutes of questions with you guys. Anything you want. Why did we do that? Why did we do that? Who knows? But Brendan, let's go quickly, 4 minutes.
Yeah, little one, bottom end of the watch list, guys. ENOB, which is EnoChain Biosciences, up here on a possible COVID and influenza treatment data. There was rumors of this happening, or they were waiting for approval on this, if you remember, going back to last week, so it made a big move. Anyways, this pink line is 7, which it has already tested a couple of times and failed, so we're down here at 640. Got to give it all the way back to 7. Starts trading above 7. This could go to the upside. Failing that, this was 570, where we ended the day back on Friday, guys, for ENOB.
ENOB on the move. That ORPH, and you guys will remember that they did not get the approval for the drug, so you're going to get that horrible move. Well, I mean, that's a horrible move. Big move to the downside. It is what it is. I'm going to say that a million times now. Thank you for getting us to 1,000 likes. But we talked about the risk involved in holding on to this. It tried to make a bounce in the morning here, so that's going to show you how volatile it is. It tried to make a bounce off of 735 right at Friday's close, got right up into the pre-market level here, and it's not these are not coincidences. You're going to get a pullback bounce at 780. You're going to get a hold at 780. You're going to get a breakdown at 780. You're going to get a pre-market high at 780 that's failing. So in front of 780 is where you take that stand to the short side. It might have a breakout at that price that gives you, I don't know, like a scalp trade into like this 8 quarters if you like it. Otherwise, it continues to be under pressure. It's trying to mount a comeback. How much I would believe in that outside of, I guess that whole momentum style play, it just, there's not a heck of a lot to go off of after the news came through. But 780 is that line in the sand, I do think, for this morning. Multiple tests of this price level look pretty good. Off the open, I sort of already have the ones that I'm going to get into here with Wish to the long side. It's a good one so far. And then testing this torch, which has bounced and is coming against us. And MNOV looks pretty good. And AMC still holding 62. So we'd like to see that break. Last 2 Mondays in a row, AMC has been a breakout play as opposed to a dip buy at 930. So I'd like to catch that break.
Yeah, we're going to take that breakthrough 63. Happy birthday to Luciano. You don't have to wish yourself a birthday. I'll wish it for you. So happy birthday, Luciano. Thank you for joining us today as well. We do like a 14 short on BlackBerry. We're not there yet. I like those wish longs as well. And then we are going to be watching AMC off the, AMC, off the open. It looks like we're going to break 62 right away. Let's check out the imbalance locator quickly here as we go. So right now, not much showing up here. I even have NASDAQ on now. So SNDL is there, Wish is there as a small sell, Ford is a small buy. There's nothing on here. Palantir we've talked about. Not much today. We normally do. Palantir back down to 25 could be interesting. We'll take a bid if that does come back down, just a small one. I have a feeling the NASDAQ maybe is a downward day today. So let's be very, very careful with what we're predicting here. This is how we traded Palantir. Bang, bang, bang. Good trade. Long and out, long and out. We had it in the close as well. So Palantir was a good trade for us, as you can see on Friday. So we'll wait to see about the same thing today, down to 25. Might be a decent pickup here for Palantir. But I'm very, very nervous about NASDAQ today, guys. Very, very nervous. So I just think that we're going to have another negative day. We probably have to start to buy shares tomorrow afternoon. We're going to go on the 3-day theory again and just watch things fall down a little bit today, maybe. So we're watching out for Palantir on the downside.
Yeah, and we are watching. I'm watching one of the airlines. It's going to be AAL. We talked about 2250. It touched it right here and then pulled back. So I was kind of geared up, and we were about to get that fill with 5 minutes to go before the open, and then you get that reversal. So it might not be one that ticks in off that open. We do have positions. Remember, Wish we talked about dipping to 1150. It made one move to the downside here. Now I'm watching AMC going into this open because I already have the other three. Don't have AMC just yet. Miss V is on the bell. We might need it today. She's got some new green because that's what we do around here to get those green days. Miss V drops it for you guys. So here comes the bell. We'll see if it's as fantastic a week as it was last week with 3, 2, and 1. Let's get this market open.
All right, welcome to another big day, hopefully another big week here on the markets as we get ready to rock and roll this as Torch goes ripping to the upside right now. It looks like we'll be out of this one very, very soon as Torch is going to take out the top and then we will reverse long. It's just a matter of time before that does happen. There goes AMC as well to the upside. A nice little break through 62. We are now long AMC 62.05, so we're going to watch it. This is a nervous one. We only want this for that early momentum. So if it doesn't happen, guys, we've got to get out. We're waiting for it to come back to 60 evens here, guys. So watch out on AMC, but we're long right now. Let's go, buddy.
And just got some more Torch shares as it heads toward that 925, guys. And here comes that 62.50 on AMC. I liked the dip buy, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that. Torch does take out the 925. You must be reversing to that long. MNOV looks pretty good. That one heading to the south side, and Wish looking like it's going to give me that dip buy. But for now, AMC range bound 61 up to that 62. Didn't get to 62.50, so it looks like we've failed at 62.50 for now on AMC.
Yeah, so Torch does go up, and then there it is, man. There's a nice little reverse to the long side. Wow, we're gonna make more money on the long here than we lost on the short now on this reversal. I should always just wait for that reversal. A nice little out there, big move to the upside goes Torch. So those of you that were saying the short was dead were 100% right as Torch starting to go back upside, guys.
And there comes that dip into Wish. It looks like it's trying to hold that 1175 area, at least for now. And here comes AMC as well, both dipping. So pre-market lows here, 1163. We like the 1150 as the absolute floor, but AMC as well making that push in. So the breakout does not happen at 62.50. You're looking back to a few levels here, 60.50 pre-market low, and then of course that washout at 57. So 60.50 is going to be a level. I want to see if I can catch a little bit on this dip here in front of 61. Oh, that was me just trying to get it at 61.20. I'll try to be patient. And then see if we can't catch this one again for some scalp trading into 62. I still want that 62.50 break. First things first, it has to hold one of these levels to the downside.
Yep. I was looking for Microsoft to get a little bit longer. Let's see what Palantir was doing quickly into a new position. Okay, there it is. So we just got into that Microsoft off this dip. Remember we said that the NASDAQ probably fades out today, guys? And here it is, man. The move is starting to happen right now to the downside. So there's that NASDAQ dip buy. We did that on Friday with Microsoft, and it turned out to be a $3 winner. I'll probably get out again at a certain spot. But if we can retrace back to where we sort of opened at, 259.50 there. We'll take a $1 winner or so on Microsoft and then hold the rest on that spot. So right now, AMC long, Microsoft long, and Torch long up to 940 again on this name. I don't know where this one could go. We've seen it in the past. This is now new highs for this name, so we'll have to watch TRCH as it looks like it wants to go upside as well. And AMC trying to battle back. Man, this has been a crazy day so far.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gates of Hell Action. Got to cover some. This MNOV just touched 480. Well, check that. It touched like it is 480 here. We took that short the second time here at 520. Going to take some profit off. I got more Wish shares here as that just hits that 1175 again. So we got 81s to the long side. AMC 6120 probably should have caught some below 61 there as it tries to make a bounce as well. So both those names looking, at least for now, at least a little bit of trouble. That ORF. Yeah, okay, so I wanted to short into that 780 level. It doesn't go. It just goes straight to the downside. So more trouble for ORPH as it is currently sitting on Friday's, well, close to Friday's bottom, 7 even. If you can't tell that's a big level, watch out. I thought we'd be shorting in front of 780, and immediately we're testing 7 even, which could be a big break. Brennan?
More positive news for this EARS, guys. EARS up 20.5% day highs. Just positive data release this morning on a cancer treatment that they are working on. So a nice look here. Just broke $4 on big volume for EARS.
Okay. Yeah, so good name there, man. Guys, don't sleep on a lot of these names. We're still watching for AMC, though, to go. I mean, we're not going to focus just on one name, but this has been a mover, man. Right back down to that 60-50 level. I thought I had some bids. I don't know. All my bids just got canceled on AMC, so I must have hit Shift Escape there. We should have got more long there at 60-50. I don't think we would have got, no, we wouldn't have got filled, but anyways, all my bids are gone, so I'll have to rearrange those. But we want to get a little more long there back at that 61 flat. We went long 62s on the break early to see if we could get anything. It did go up 40 cents for us, but now it's a nice little rebound, it looks like, to the upside now. So here we go. Yeah, missed opportunity getting long down there at 60-50. I thought we had some bids. We're going to have to now, who cares what we thought we had? We didn't. So right now we'll look to get some more in there with AMC downside now. If we ever get those 60s again, man, we got to load those up.
And here comes Wish. The dip trade is done, and then now we're looking for that break through the top. It was 12.27. You can look at like 12.80 as that top end break here on Wish. It's trying to get through the high. We caught that dip a couple times. Now we're looking for the breakout. Brenda, what's up, bud?
Another early mover here, coming off 2 strong days to end last week. Roku, guys, just taking out that high from Friday. They said record number of viewers for Roku channel in the last 2 weeks since its launch. So nice look here through 370 for Roku.
Okay, there it goes. Now we're going, man. Let's go. So now goes AMC to the upside. Where do we have our offers? Oh, yeah, we don't have any offers. I forgot about that. A nice little move to the upside. I'm going to take some out right now for that $1. So if we can get it. Oh, man, I was just waiting. I just put an offer, enter, and it ran away again. So what a surprise. Up to $62.95. A nice little $1 win here. Wow, 70 cents so far on AMC. We just tried to get that out at 63, man. That would have been my spot. So hopefully it can come back up, and we will take another chance out there on AMC. What a great dip buy that was. Again, my orders meant to get some, but we didn't. So we'll just move on from that. But here we go, AMC, cash them out if I can.
Oh, I'm gonna hit the AMC because the dip buy worked, and then I don't get to 62.50. So Sean misses the dip, I catch it. I like the break, I don't get it, and Sean's got the break. So we got you covered either way here on AMC. Maybe it pulls back into VWAP and gets you a bit of a push here, but I didn't take anything at that top because I feel like I'm a bit of a sucker on that move. If we can hold, we'd love to see a hold at a higher level, like a 61.50. That'd be a fantastic little bounce, even if it doesn't hold VWAP here. While that was happening, and I'm still looking at that dip. If it goes to 61.50 on AMC, I'll try to catch it. Wish rejected the top, so you get another rejection of the top. It's trying to make a pullback in here as well. So one of these two, I'm probably going to have on the dip as it comes in right now. Wish I'll probably wait for 11.75, but AMC I'll probably take it a little bit higher. Looks like that ORPH did make the break. Look, I liked 780. It didn't go to 780. It broke 7 even instead. It is short sell restricted because of action on Friday, so you couldn't hit that bid. I had to wait for it to come right back to the upside. So it went down to 685, but I didn't get it until after it came back up. So short on ORPH, new position.
All right. Yeah, so just a little update here on Softy. We did get another bid down there, so we took some out now. So now it's a good trade. I mean, it was a good trade forever. This is my best one today. Unfortunately, we missed that AMC bump. That was ridiculous. We should have got that out for 90 cents, man. That was, I mean, literally offer, enter, and ran away. It was crazy how that happened. But here we go. Microsoft 258.60 right now. We just took some out. Our average price, we just took it out at 60. Our average price is 36, so we put those 40 cents or so, 30 cents or so in our pocket on Softy. and now we're waiting, man. I told you the NASDAQ was going to be possibly a downward move today, so a little bit nervous about that. And yeah, unfortunately, here we go to the downside. We're going to get out if it breaks down too much lower than 257. So we tried to average in. We do want to come back to Microsoft. I think there's a lot of potential with this name. We've seen it rally off bottoms before, but yeah, it doesn't look like that's happening right now. Microsoft continues to make moves to the downside. We're not going to hold this. If it breaks through 257, we're going to get out 257.50 or so on Softy, guys.
So it looks like volatility halts here almost right off the bat. Well, not almost, right off the bat on Vino. Once again, it was a crazy mover that stalled at $9 last week. But it has resistance right here, right now. You can look at Friday's action at 725, but I also want to show you this here at 760. You guys that have watched the show, you know I'm interested usually in those reopen plays. It's not going to be any different here. Between that 720 and 760, I think there's one area on a reopen that I can take it off that 60. If it fails and opens back at around 7 and holds 25, that's another way to play that short, as long as it's just a volatility halt. Brendo?
A little bit of a headline here this morning on GE, guys. Just saw GE popping up. China Express Airlines ordering 50 spare engines for $433 million. Just an order, but nice look here through $13 again for GE. Big level here on the daily chart below us, guys, for GE.
Yeah, we just did average into AMC again now. Now our average price is 92. We took some 75s there on a little bit of a dip there. So we'll wait to see if we can get back upside now. And then hopefully we don't get run over again and get our, oh no, we didn't even get run over. I wish I did. Hopefully we can get tested again to the upside 62 and change. And then we'll be able to get some more out, or some out anyways. Like my offer was at 95, and unfortunately we got missed, even though it went to 63.01. It's just we put our order in just a second too late on that one. So we definitely miss out on our AMC. Other than that, I'm just holding some longs right now. Microsoft is 20 cents out. Torch is coming back down to the downside. So again, we got hit. We did take some profits. We got hit there on that average. We went short. We sold. Now we're coming back to the downside on Torch. So watch out for this like 850 area maybe on Torch. We're not super heavy on it, but again, we're going to hold it a little bit just to see if it does start to break out. We do have a bottom of 836 to watch out for on that name.
Yeah, and AMC, just as I'm also going to be watching that VINO for that reopen trade. Of course, it hasn't happened just yet, but here comes AMC back into that 61.50. So I just got that dip in front of 61.50 as we said we would. You want to see it hold up here above 61, so you get a higher low put in, and then another test of the top. That's what we're angling for here. And I said it would be both of these, very likely, or at least one of them. It ends up being both. Wish bounces off 11.50, so each time you want to be a little bit more patient. It bounced off 11.50. We take it on the way back up when it takes 11.70. I will take some of this out in front of VWAP and 12 even, just to make sure we get a scalp trade in on both of these. And then or PH is not moving. It's just sitting there right on that low of the day, so I don't want to get squeezed too badly. I might only give it to the quarters on ORPH, but Vino could be the one. I mean, I won't say it could be the one. Going to wait for that reopen trade. That print is I think that's a little bit low because we halted at 723 here, guys. The range for me is at 25 to 60 area.
All right, we're still watching. I mean, I'm still got these three on board, so we're still going to watch a little bit of these to see if there's any movement here. Torch, Microsoft, and AMC. So we're still waiting for that. Let's just check out quickly on CCL, not CLL. New York. So here we go. Carnival does touch that bottom that we did talk about. Now it's kind of just not doing anything. So this is not really a great form for us. If you do break here, I mean, you're out. We still need to see that other name, that other spot break of what I put down. 27.85 here. So that was the bottom before. We'll wait to see if 27.85 comes through there. Other than that, man, we're still rocking and rolling. We're going to watch out for the NASDAQ. So here comes AMC, though. It did just make a nice little move to the downside there. So we did pick some more up. We're trying to break now down through 61. So that was an area of concern for all of us, 61. So there it is. We're taking a little bit of a bid there. And now we'll have to wait to see what happens at 60. So AMC to the downside. That really sucks that we missed our out there. So hopefully we can get a good average price now, 61.70. We're out of the money right now, 70 cents on AMC, guys.
Yeah, and here comes that. Look, Vino opened up here. Now, a lot of times I'll have one specific trade for that reopen. In this particular case, because we had a level to the upside, we're going to go ahead and lock that one in as well. It's going to be a different style, obviously, but to me, there's always different ways you can play this. If I didn't have that 760 level on the daily, I probably don't take this when it immediately tests that 765 and fails. So I'm going to jam in here and we get 740 even, and we're going to get this nice little short in. If it does want to halt down, fair enough. I should have taken, there we go. We'll lock it in. We'll flush it down the toilet. I should take profit first. and then we can talk about it a little bit more. But it pulls right back into 680. It breaks VWAP. I'm going to hang on to the rest of this trade. If it wants to halt down, I'll cover another third. But a nice little winner here. And the key difference was on this particular name, we did have a resistance area, a lower high that wasn't the spike high. So you had this 760. So when it failed off that price, I was willing to short that instead of only the halt price, which is not a bad one. Like if you took that normal trade, you might be getting in here at like 710 or so, and you still get a winner, guys. It is what it is. I'll say that a few more times so you guys have to drink water, hopefully. Save the good stuff for later on. We'll take some more shares out here. Nice winner on this setup. Get an 80-cent win. I want to hold. It's about to halt here, guys. About to enter into a halt state. It cannot print any lower than this particular price, I do believe. And if it prints higher, fair enough, it can go to the upside at this point. But we got ourselves a downside halt now in VINO after it gave us that nice short reversal setup that we gave to you.
Okay, so Wish, we take a nice bottom there as well. Maybe we'll see how far Wish wants to go down. Some of these names starting to crack. AMC does crack lower there, so it does crack below 60. We get some out, but we only got out of half, so we could still win on this trade. It just needs to start going back to the upside at some point. We'll average in a little bit now. We still are waiting for 58, so now we have a little bit of a better price, but we did take that hit there. But we're averaged right back in, and we're going to get more shares right now. So let's hopefully that can work out. Microsoft right now, 55, 60 cents in the money. We have an out at 529, so hopefully we can get out right around VWAP is a good spot, 529 or so for Microsoft. The only thing we've messed up on today is this trade with AMC. Everything else is rocking right now. Wish, nice move to the upside again. We've talked about that. That's only right now 8 cents, but that's a good one. And then Torch continues to climb, man. We just took that out at 973. So from what was not a great trade to barbecuing up some profits now on TRCH. So the only stock we're going to be negative on right now, hopefully, is going to be AMC, but position pending, it's only 944. What up, Ms. V?
Hey Sean, Chinese technology stock LKCO is up around 14%. It's very popular on the chat right now, so guys, could you give us a quick look into the charts? LKCO.
Okay, there goes, yeah, we will do that for sure. There goes Microsoft right now. So yeah, we're going to go Superman. Whenever I'm into Microsoft, man, this is what happens. Not every time, but nice little move back upside with the NASDAQ starting to run. So goes Microsoft, man. This is a big trade for me.
I'm just going to get to AMC very quickly because it just made a test again of 60 even. You're going to get dipped down, go back to the upside. We catch some more shares long on the way back up. It then dips 60 and fails again. And this time we get a better price. We actually get some 60s involved there. So if it goes up again into the 61 area, going to have to take some profit out, going to have to take some out in front of VWAP as well. I really felt like we get some more outsized moves. Why am I holding out there for an extra like 10 cents? Give me a break, guys. So we're going to play these bounces. I'll still be down on it because of these longs that we had here, that first one. If it comes to VWAP, we'll take a few more shares out. I was looking at LKCN here. We'll go to Brendan. We'll come right back because I did have that on the list this morning.
I just saw this Anavex Life Sciences hit day highs here, 20% now. Wow. If you remember, we were talking about this one a little bit last week, around 20. We're up to 26.5 now. They released some more positive data on a treatment that they are working on, guys. So AVXL on the move.
All right, so we're just getting out. Yeah, we'll look at all these names. Now, how hard did Wish to just go to their 67s? Okay, so we'll take a little bit more out on Wish as this one's starting to go. And then there goes Torch, man. Torch is really right now lighting it up for us, up to 980 right now. So we're going to see $10 hopefully on Torch very soon. And then Microsoft, a big move, man. We just got out at 259.20. So our average price right now is $1 now in the money on MSFT. But again, that was a big move back on NASDAQ. That's why you got to cash some out. When you see these moves happen backside, oh, you can't see. This sucks, man. I didn't even know you guys can't even see this NASDAQ chart at the bottom here, but I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. As you guys can see right here, man, a big move back on the NASDAQ, so therefore you got to cash out some of those trades that you had, so we just did that on Microsoft there as well. We're going to wait for AMC. Right now, everything's going pretty good, though, guys.
Exactly, and look, it's for now, I should say, because I got that Wish. I haven't added to it the last time it bounced that 1150 area, but then LKCO, if you guys just here's the daily chart. It did fail. You get these massive breaks, and you get that $4, and the next day you get that retracement level at 3. You shouldn't just pay attention to the top end of the wick. When these things come back in and fail, start to look at some of those levels as well. I think that's why you would have seen that pullback off of 3 in the pre-market. This is that 930 open setup that does not get to the high of the day. So it does give you that kind of a look. If we hold and it never breaks this 250, you're going to be set up pretty well for that 3 even break. Front of my mind is going to be AMC, which could be the negative one this morning. Torch short is no good for me. I didn't reverse into the long. I like Wish for that long trade. That's pending for sure. But AMC, we're able to get this one leg out, and we're immediately retesting these lows here. So 58 is that last stop. Always scalp some out every single buy, but now that 60 is broken a couple of times, I want to be waiting for that 59 and then that 58 to execute those dip buys, and still going to cover some at VWAP no matter what happens. Brendo?
I missed this one, but I hope others did not. GERN, we mentioned on Friday, gave you a number of opportunities, both long and short Friday, just breaking pre-market lows there, 170, but did give you a test of some resistance areas for GERN early on, guys.
All right, I'm not going to make a mistake again. I'm going to try to hold this on Softy if we can. We're back down, though, but I'm still thinking upside still on Microsoft, especially if the NASDAQ does get going. So right now, we've been trading this one pretty good. We were trading Ether a little bit today, not much. There has been a decent move back upside a little bit here on Ethereum. There's not too much volume on that name, but we'll wait to see Torch coming to the upside. Let's quickly just look at what Ethereum is doing. That's a 1 minute chart. It is starting to bounce a little bit here, which is a nice sign. I don't know when to start picking some up. I did talk about 1,500 there with Mark, but it does bounce off 19, it looks like, guys. Now up to 1986. So watch out if this thing gets near 2K. There could be something there, whether or not it's MSTR, whether or not it's Riot, Mara, something like that. But it looks like the blockchain name's starting to move again here, guys.
And we'll go with the power up because opening up and still looking relatively weak is that Dino. So it comes right here, opening at the bottom at 650, but it tries to take out, tries to take out the 685 or get back up to that 685. For me, I've gotten out of these way too early sometimes, so I'm going to have that 725. It's that previous halt price before we would have given the high of the day. Now that it's come down, I'm going to give it all the way back to 725. We got a 740 short. It's basically the top. I mean, certainly someone's got 760, 770. Maybe you got it. Congratulations if you do. This move started at 6 to 610, so if it gets down there, I'll be pretty happy with this trade, obviously, and Wish. AMC just bounced and tried to hold that 60 level. Now, Wish is making that move back into VWAP. I missed this off at 1150 again while getting into some AMC. Wish bounce certainly better for now. Just because I missed out doesn't mean I shouldn't take some out in front of VWAP. My price isn't what I want it to be, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't be covering some. You get a double failure here at the high of the day, that 1225. You're now holding VWAP. You got to take some profit so that if you make this wedge here at 1150, you give some cover to get in and out and then rinse and repeat that trade. So I got to take some off first to make sure that we're making some coinage there. MNOV, which was that we always have that, we try to always have that one rollover short, which sets up really nicely and then doesn't give you any trouble. It seems like this is going to be the one, but it just bounced off a 465 level, and I should have taken some profit out again. This was a 375 stock on Friday, so if we get out the rest of it in front of 4/4, I think that's a fantastic return. But I'll be covering some here at 460 for a nice 50-cent winner.
I see you guys flying in here on Torch, all-time highs right now, $10. So we're gonna go hell yeah on the diamond hands, on the long at least, here for Torch. We tried it. There's some more pickups to the long side. Only one bust through here, 932, and now we're up to $10 on TRCH. So congratulations to all the viewers that mentioned to us that we get fried on the short. You're 100% right there. As Torch just continues to go to the upside. We made some money on the short, but not enough to make up for, getting wiped out. But there's a nice little long backside there. And we just did have 40 cents in the money on Wish as it goes right back, sorry, not 40 cents, 35 cents in the money on Wish as it goes right back to 90, which is right where VWAP was there. So maybe we should have got some out, but Wish has been a good profitable stock for us today as well. And then fly away goes Softy right back up, guys, to 59 again. 259.50 was that spot. We're going to get some out. I was waiting at 70, 259.70, but we'll take another piece out at 259.50 and then celebrate again another. I mean, that's a good trade, man, for us. So we'll go chicken dinner winner for $1 win here on Microsoft as we'll just continue to wait. We'll put another order at 48 there, see if we get out. But right now, long on that's a good one. Long on Ethereum's a good one. The only problem that's been bad so far has been AMC. We don't have any outs, man, on here, but we were pretty light into it. But we're trying to wait for that 58 to come through. So if it does, then yeah, that'll be sort of my breaking spot there. We made a lot of money on AMC, but again, the big mistake was this. I had an offer there. That would look pretty sick if I actually got it, but it ran right away. So now hopefully we can get back through 60 and then hold 60 is the key from here. If we don't hold 60 in the next 5 minutes, then watch out below, man. You may test this 57 bottom again.
Yeah, and that 57 is that wipeout bottom that we talked about.
Softy.
That's going to be that key one. Or if it continues to sort of press to the downside, it tried to get back up and test that 725. It did not. It's now testing that fresh low here around 680. Just want to show you guys, if you go back into the pre-market on the gap down day, this 680 was a huge floor before it made that run to 9. That's why we'll cover some in front of 680. If it now breaks this level, there's not a heck of a lot. You look at that 650 is probably the next level to the downside where I would cover some profits. So Orf short looks pretty good. Vino looks like we're going to get just about everything we want out of this one. It just bounced off of like 610. Maybe our order was sitting there at 611. It just bounced off of like 615 or so. So over a $1 winner that I should probably just go ahead and take if I can. So I'll be sitting in front of like this now 620 area on Vino. It wasn't necessarily that regular short setup that we have. But it did give you those levels. We quickly talked about that 760 at the top where it failed, so we're able to get it in front of or above that whole price instead.
Okay, so you heard the siren go off there. That means new position alert. So we did take that Boeing as it does break up through that 240. So we're going to watch out for there. That was that level that we liked. Unfortunately, it's already traveled down to 237 this morning. Like that, what a great buy that would have been when the market was just tanking. So now we're up to 240. So a little bit of a sticky situation here on a 3-minute chart. I don't know if I like this one too much past like this 238.70 area, something like that. So we're going to give this about a buck and change back, maybe 238.50. We'll average it back into 239 if it comes back in here. So we'll take this. We're long right now. We're fine. I'm just looking at it because it's a start of a position right now through 240. So we'll wait to see on that one. If we could take $1 on a piece of it, we'll do that. But right now, Boeing, new position alert for that one. And yeah, man, things are just rocking and rolling. Check out this one, Brendo. I know you gave this to us early. Torch now. Oops, that's still Wish. Wish, man, 50 cents in the money for Wish. So we're running the sirens and everything for that one as well. But there goes Torch. Holy crap. 11. So $1.20 now on the upside on Torch. And still rips it. Look at these winners we have on. Softy, $1.50 rate. $1.70 right now on Softy. 50 cents on Wish, guys. Nice move to the upside on Wish. Torch, $1.20 on Torch right now. All we really need is BA to go. So let's go, Boeing. Oh, it already is going. My bad. We're 25 cents of the money on Boeing now. So far, so good, man. And then AMC starting to rock and roll back to the upside. A nice little long we got there, 259.75. Told you it need to hold. So now we'll go upside. Yes, this day is starting to get a little bit better now. So hit the cowbell. Wake up, America. We're here, Miss V. Get that green. Let's go.
And it's now 10% down. So this was already going to be short sell restricted or PH. It's now 10% downside. 666 just got hit. Well, that's where I got out in front of that level. We got the 7 even break. AMC is finally starting to make that run back to the upside. Now, you know, we did like a dip buy even further than this, and we talked about 58, so we're waiting for that next level down. It doesn't quite get there. That doesn't mean don't take any profit out in front of VWAP, which I will always do in this type of a scenario, and then dip buy scenario. Wish I did get some out there, so we're pretty happy with it, but we still want to see this take out that high, right? Like you're sitting there at like a 12 quarter, but 12.30 is where I kind of like it. So I'm going to continuously get flat in front of the high of the day because I like the breakout trade and I like the dip buy. This has been much better than AMC, at least in terms of buying the dip and making a press towards high of day. AMC going nowhere close to that for the time being. So 12 to 12.10 is where I'll get the last out here on Wish and then look for the top break, look for the dip buy, just try to rinse and repeat over and over again. That Vino, we got out of all of it, so we're pretty much done with that trade. There was the travel names, and it's not to throw the trade out, but I only wanted a break on AL of 22.50. Now that you made a hard bottom at 22, I'd probably put that on the back burner at least until closer to lunchtime or maybe in the afternoon. But the market would have to have market has a lot of work to do before that comes back into the setup.
All right, just getting my AMC all locked and loaded. We just took out a 70-cent win there on this last little piece. So now we're going to wait back to the upside. So we finally have a sell there on for AMC. We're not even going to be that negative on this name. We just need it to go. If it breaks through 61, we will return to positivity. So you guys wanted more cowbell. You'll get more cowbell. There it is. A nice little win on that one. We are now $2, guys. $2 now in the money on Softy. So I guess that was a good idea. What up, Brendan?
Jinko Solar just popping up here. JKS 8% so far, broke 42 there on a big volume spike. They just announced some, or it was about an hour or so ago. They announced a deal for some activity over in, looks like Africa. So JKS moving on volume, guys.
Oh, we'll definitely have to add that one to our list, guys. Jinko Solar, a big time mover. Someone asked, and apologies, I know we got a super chat about Roblox there. It just made a flush through 80 even, which if you go to the daily chart, obviously you're going to see here the 50-period moving average. You can go back into last week. This is 79.50, so a hard bottom. This is like one of those flush out bottoms. Like it takes out that 80, comes right back and spikes back into the upside. So you kind of like those setups. And the NASDAQ's trying to get going. We just turned green on the session, so maybe some of those value names can start to push. You look right here at 81, opening range top. So I like an 81 break on Roblox. Sometimes you get those wipeout types of longs from like the previous week, or maybe a couple of sessions in a row, and then that next level up gives you a bit of a breakout trade. So it has made that setup. I'm going 81s long on Roblox if it makes that move.
All right, so AMC only goes up 50 cents and then stops for some reason. So it went up about 54 cents and then gave a big stop there, stop sign on that move. So we're going to wait out for it. Hopefully we can get back up there, and we will take another piece. We'll take a piece off at 240.50 if it gets back there. And we're still going to hold. We still like the long, and I like the average in back to some of this support down here. So hopefully Boeing can go. We took out some AMC there. We took it out twice actually on the upside there for AMC. So if you want to look back at this chart, there it is. So the double action there, out. There's two outs there. I don't know if you guys, hopefully you can see that there's two. Yeah, you can see that. So double outs there, right at 60, both at 60s, one at 64, and I think one at 68 or so. As we just noticed some stop and goes there. I do like this break though, 69, 60, 90, 61, something like that. I still think there's a go spot there for that. So we'll wait on AMC. I think it still goes. So no questions there. Torch does go all the way up, and then hopefully you guys got some of that out. We do have a light piece, but we were able to make most of that money back. Obviously, we would have been huge if we noticed that. So we'll put another piece there, but this move's probably done. You're going to get a few breakout moves like this on stocks that, you know, are random, kind of like, not that Torch is a random, we saw it last week, but, you know, a big move up there today, that might have been the stopping point. You could see, we'll have to check out RSI and stuff, but we're already way up, man. I mean, this stock had its birthday not too long ago, including last week when we busted out from right here, $3 up to $11 today. So big move on Torch. We still got it, man. It's still big time in the money. But look at this one though, Microsoft, like, let's go. Bang, punch that out right now. As Softy is $2.25 in the money. Bang for the big one today on Softy. And that just keeps on motoring to the upside, man. Big trade on Microsoft, 260.50. Bang. A good little out here, hopefully to the upside. Some of you asking about the new shoes. I will show those off very soon. Shout out to my wife, the best in the business. And then the kids aren't too bad either.
Going to go back to Wish for a quick second here. It just made this turn. We talked about getting out some of the 1210 level. It does go to 1210, pretty much exactly. Turns, we got 1208. I'm going to get my bid back in here. This is a pre-market low at 1165. Wish has been a good one, arrows up, but you're still in this range. Pre-market low, barely breaks, 1150 holds, and then you get this 1225 at the top. I still like the breakout for the long, so that's still going to be in play. Roblox is the other breakout that we're going to have. AMC is finally making a move into that 61 price range. I said I would get some out in front of VWAP, which I did. We took some out in front of 62 the last time. I will do so again on AMC, so I'm holding that core long position. And then buying those dips. The same thing we had for that trade of the day last week, where if it does make this move continuously down, you can still be positive on the session so long as you're making some money when it bounces and you have good levels to buy those dips off of, guys. So that's what we're trying to do here. I also still like a Wish, of course, and I will buy that dip, but I got to wait for the price to come back to me. We did talk very quickly, at least I want to say, with regards to that LKCP. There's no setup for me on it yet. That Vino, however, starting to hold at that low of the day, guys. If this makes, we've seen these stocks that halt before, give a secondary pop, consolidate the low, pop right back in, and you can look right back at that halt level at 725. It goes there again. You'd like to rinse and repeat that type of a trade, but don't get caught in a halt. A 10% move from here would get you to that level. Don't short it into the halt. Wait till it opens back up or resist the halt. Brendan is ready. It's already time for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, already 10 o'clock. Let's go have a look at where we are at this point. The Dow now a full percent to the upside, 1.02 in positive territory. NASDAQ still lagging here. You can see about 0.1, 0.2 to the upside for the composite and the 100. S&P 0.7 in positive territory. The Russell having a decent day as well, 0.8 to the upside. Here in Toronto, we're dead flat right now, 0.09 in positive territory, but pretty quiet start to the week. Nike, we were talking about in the pre-market, guys. If you remember, earnings Thursday for Nike, it did just take out day highs here at 130, but pulling back in a little bit. Volume Less than impressive for NKET today. This is that Hennessy Capital. HCIC was also on the list, holding basically right at pre-market support for that one, guys.
Oh yeah, Hennessy. We talked a little bit about that Hennessy in the pre-market there. Okay, Boeing. Oh, we got out of Boeing. Yes, we did. Yes, sir. There it is. Spit it. Money, 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 money. All right. Money. So from one money thing to another here. So you guys are asking for it. So there we go. So I got customized Air Force Ones from the wife and the kids there. They made the colors. They got the embroidered as well. So I don't know if you can see them here, but here they are on today. So the custom Air Force Ones in the building right there. So we'll see if there's any luck for those. But a very, very special gift. And thank you so much to the wife. They're, like I just said, the best in the business. And sometimes my kids can cooperate as well. And today it's bringing money and good luck to us a little bit there. As there goes Softy, we didn't even think we would get that price, but we do. Look at this trade, guys. That's all we got to do is show the shoes, and Microsoft just rips up. That's a $2 and change win there on Softy long, 258.26 out. 260.70 there. So a monster win to the upside there for Microsoft. So big day just continues to go upside for us as Boeing now, again, man, backflip central, $1 in the money on Boeing. And here goes Wish. I mean, it still was a nice out at 12.10. We were waiting at 12.20 there, thinking we were going to explode to the upside. So Wish, another 50-cent win that we have on board. Man, it's been a great day.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, solid so far, and gotta love it here. Like, Wish might give you this pullback, and I might get that price again at 11.65, or at least in front of that 11.50. But if it holds VWAP here, keep in mind you still have that setup for the 12.25 break. Where you're looking at the week here, guys. Just note that it did fail that break last time. It gave you the scalp to 12.50, so you got to take some out here if you do get like a 15, 20 cent win, and then look for that 12.50, because that same setup did happen on Tuesday. I might have said Monday in the pre-market, apologies, on Tuesday. And if that fails, I want to be able to take some profit out of Wish on that break. I still like the dip, and we're going to go ahead and do that if we get that opportunity. We talked about AMC. I also wanted to make sure I got Roblox if it made that move. Of course, look, if you don't see it pop in, Roblox hasn't broken that 81 yet. It is still consolidating, though, at this level in front of that 81. For those of you that are bearish on the stock, maybe it rolls over a little bit. I'd love to see it, maybe if it doesn't give it the 81 break, I should say, and it pulls back, I'd love to see it bounce off of 79, give you a look at a higher low. I think you could buy the dip there as well, especially with that nice rebound that we've had in the NASDAQ, bringing some of the higher valuation names, I guess we should say, back up. Still going to like that 81 break. It has more to do with this cluster here in the pre-market than anything else. Get $1 to that pre-market high. So let's see if we can't get that Roblox. And out of the corner of my eye, MNOV has been good. It's been that no trouble short that we're sitting in here on the rollover type idea. And my 1 minute froze there. So let's see if we can't. My 15-minute MNOV has been pretty good, but it just bounced off of 460, guys. We did take some out before at that price. This pops into VWAP. I think it's a short again in that $5 range. I know we're shorting 18s up to 27s before. We'd probably look at 5 even this time on a pop.
So we just tweeted that out. And there we go. We just got Wish. So look at this trade on Wish, man. I got to tweet this one out. Like, what? 11.59, 11.50s, out 12.20s there, guys, on Wish. We told you we were waiting for that level, so thank God that came out. 12.20 right there, just ahead of that punch long spot. So there it is again, man. Money, that's just another one for us. Look at these trades. Look at this Wish. Bang, bang, bang. Boom. Right there to the up. Like, this is what you want, right? 1 or 2 ends. Bang it to the upside right there. There it is for Wish. So can't get too much better than that. And then the Microsoft's a good trade as well. And then, you know what, Sean? Stop talking about all those tech names. Why not trade something that's more of a value play? That's more, okay, how about this? Bang right now with hot dogs and sausages flying everywhere as Boeing right now. Rewind it, man, rewind. When we talked about it on Boeing, I brought this up to your attention in the if you were watching or you were here at 8:30, guys, put it in the chat, say some hell yeah for this call. We talked about Boeing right here, 240. I went over it. We brought it back to a couple time frames back. We even got a daily chart. We like that 240 break on Boeing. Now you're at 241.40. So there's just another one. We have $3 or $4 winners for you here today, guys. So hopefully you're enjoying it. The only stock that we're going to be busted on here is going to be AMC, as it just continues to go to the downside there. Pick up another long 59 and change. Now we wait for 58. That's why we empty out the clip here a little bit when we go up to 60 there on that retrace. Same type of thing is going to happen again if we get back up to 60. But right now, AMC just cruising for a bruising. What up, E?
I apologize, I missed who it was, but I saw in the pre-market somebody was mentioning that this one, guys, was on their watch list for this week. Shopify, once again, and rightfully so. Nice looking daily chart over here. Went 1,400 to 1,500 in 3 days, guys. So Shopify, all-time highs once again.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go with some Canadian content. We love that one. We'll go power up for them. Now, we're trying to catch that bounce, and you always wait for those key prices on AMC, but when it comes back to those key levels, first is going to be that 59.50 and then that 60 area. We're going to take profit on the way back up while maintaining that core on the way down to 58. And believe me, it looks like we're going to get to that 58 at this rate. If it breaks that line in the sand, keep in mind there was a break of that price into that 57, so you probably want to give it at least some room on AMC. Just to track back into ORPH, you guys are all probably familiar with the news last week. They did not get they didn't get the drug approval. They're down again. We took only the 7 break after it did not even get to 780 here. We took some out at 680. We took some out in front of 660 at 666, and now you're looking at a 650 bottom here. If it does break any lower than where it is right now, the only levels that you're really going to be looking at come all the way down into this 6 bottom, and this had a huge 50% push back to the upside off of 620. I do feel like that's the line in the sand for people that are holding that long, and was a $4 stock quite recently, so it could certainly do that again if 6 breaks in the near term. So nice short here on ORPH. The story not necessarily done with this one.
Yeah, you're right, Teomir here. Teomir, yeah, you're right. The Dragon Slayer is back in the building, so let's go. Let's slay that. Too bad we got to put like a stock symbol on there. Yeah, we can't keep slaying Brendan every time there, but good job there. Brian James, he's vaccinated. He puts that on the chat. I don't know why, but good job there, Brian. There's Wish, man. We just put it out here. We wish we were a baller. We wish we were just a little bit taller. But one thing that we do know, big time wins here on Wish. We just tweet that out, up to 5.6% there, but a beautiful out there at 1220. And now we'll wait to see if we can't take this through 1220 now to the upside. We will reload back downside if it does come back. Our AMC goes back into the money. We're long 59.50 there. Well, now it's come back down, but we're long 59.54 now, our average price. This is why we just keep on rinsing it out. All we need to do is get back to VWAP, and we're back to positive on this name. So I like this opportunity. We've talked about why we like that 58 there on the bottom. And again, look at Boeing right now going, guys. Fire off some more hot dogs for Boeing, as that's $1.70. This is how I'm trading now, guys. This is just how I'm trading. $1.70 now in the money, $2.50 win already on Softy. Here's AMC back to 58. So we're going to stay light. We've seen it dip below 58 before, including 56.80, which has been its most recent low in the last couple of days. So there's a good potential that we retest some of these levels. But right now, we have a lot of consolidation down here between 55 basically and where we're trying to get to, unfortunately, 60. So between 55 and 60, there's a lot that could happen here. Like it could just drop all the way, like we did last time and test 52, or we could resist some 56s. So we're definitely on a little bit of a slippery slope now with AMC, but that's why your boy definitely spinning this around, including Boeing, Softy, Wish, and Torch, guys, today. Brendan.
A little bit light on the volume on this one, guys, but recent addition, in fact, just IPO'd May 27th. For Figs Incorporated. Big mover last week, if you remember as well, had 2 or 3 days to the upside, but all-time highs here today. I was just trying to count all the analysts here. So there's Morgan Stanley, Cohen, Credit Suisse, Telsey, Piper Sandler, Oppenheimer, Barclays, and KeyBank, all initiating coverage with positive notes on Figs, guys.
I love
that all. I mean, I would love to know what Sun Lake Strategies has to say about that. Well, I mean, I kind of joke. I'm sure Mark probably wouldn't have much to say about that particular stock. But you know what? If you guys are absolutely curious, our Q&A is today, by the way, guys. I want to throw it out there and say it as many times as we can. For all of our members, Mark, the Stockfather himself, you guys just heard him. He's coming right back. Ask him any question you want, or any of us any question you want. It is always fun. One of the things we can talk about here is maybe breakout trades. Maybe you want to know what our view is on breakouts. I only say that because Wish, again, right here at 1225, pre-market, right at the open, and now a third time here we are testing this level and pulling back. If we can hold VWAP, it might be a nice little bounce off trade here at 11.95, but that is a heck of a wall it is forming. I still want the break. I still also favor that dip buy as well, but there's two separate types of IDs you can do at price levels like this, guys, and I'm looking at that breakout style trade, even though the dip buy has been the way to go. AMC is the one that has not. AMC has not been that good, guys. It's just one of those things where, whoops, and we had the trader, we had our trade of the day last week talking about these dips, and it'll give you one level up. So you'll hold this range here, it'll give you one level, and it won't take the second one out. It's exactly what's happening again. It takes the one level, gives you that bit of an out, and I'm not able to get the rest of the shares at that next level to the upside. So you're just sort of slowly bleeding into this, but thankfully it's at least giving you a little bit of an out so you can cash these like quick, like 75 cent to $1 wins to the upside, as opposed to just only losing on that long side of the trade. Or PH does continue to look rather weak, guys, but it is holding for now that bottom second time here at 650. If that cracks, remember, I'm covering it all in front of that low from Friday, which is at about 615.
Yeah, we're looking at some of those lows as well. No, I just asked you there, Cosmic there. No, I'm not watching crude, but I do understand that we are moving a little bit here. CL $F. Up that 1.25% it looks like here on crude, if my chart is right. Is that up to $73 right now? Must be, yeah, 73.74. So watch out for that 72.80. I guess that's why you're bringing it to my attention. You're looking to take it out right now. Highs on crude, so be very, very careful if you are short anything. We do like XOM. I love XOM, guys, for a swing play pullback. I know there's a lot of people calling long on some of these oil names. I like XOM back to the downside at some point, obviously. It's well overextended in my opinion. I've been calling it since $64. So again, if you missed some of that top, then you do have a chance right now to reload on an XOM short. I believe anyways. I don't think we take out that 64.50, but and again, it's not like I don't have too much experience in the oil trades, but I was long XOM, did get out of it obviously too early, got out of it around here like in the 40s. Didn't think we'd have this move. So now up to 65, I like an XOM short. AMC still bouncing around and Boeing coming back in. So look at the market fading here a little bit. We did take a nice trade on Boeing. I'm debating just getting the rest out here for another 50 cents. I don't know how long we want to hold this thing for.
Yeah, market is starting to. We're
starting to
actually
come back
dead
a
flat on the
little
NASDAQ,
bit.
believe it or not, there, and just turned back into red. So we're going to need that power, that new green shirt, Ms. V, if we're going to hold up. I just want to come back to Torch. We had the shorts all morning. This one got blown out. I've been back into it since. Have not been back into it since. Could have looked at that 11. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a halt up style trade. Clearly, you can see this did not halt, despite looking like it could have, but either way, you're now bouncing off of the opening range bottom, 883. So if there is a support level we had for those of you that are bullish, you want to look back at that 880 level, 875 to 880, and this bottom at 835. Do not forget that pre-market low at 835 has held now a couple of times here, and if it does break 880, there is an 835 level for those of you that are bullish. If it does want to push back up, you'd probably look at that 10 even area on Torch. It looks like it's not even close to done. The volume is fantastic on it. If you're going to be a bullish trader or bearish, doesn't matter. Wish just bounced off of VWAP here. It honestly doesn't look as strong as I thought. So I'm going to hold off. I'll take the breakout trade if it happens, but if it wants to break, I'll hunt lower, guys. If Wish wants to go lower, AMC is the other meme name that looks like it's going to be relatively weak. And if this is happening, I'd rather not step in front of VWAP on that Wish trade to get back into it. When we're cracking lows and the market is looking overall weak as well. So patience is going to be a virtue on Wish buying the dip.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, Wish is a good one. Torch is a good one. We're still watching all of these as we're starting to fade back in a little bit here. Okay, now the market just turned. So I just want to give you guys that update on Boeing and what we were thinking about with this name. I was going to get out if it went back to flat there. That's where VWAP is. But now we're back into the money, a nice little dollar on that one. So throw the hot dogs for some Wish, for some Boeing, trades. I'm still waiting for Wish. I mean, Neil just covered it, so we don't need to do it too much. But I am waiting for it to come back in. We were waiting for a 12.25 take, but again, that's pretty clean right there, man. This could be the trade of the day as well there for Wish. Won't be on AMC, but we're still holding out for AMC here. So I don't want to say that we're not done yet, but it just keeps on bouncing off this 59 area. It did tip as low as 58 and change. I was waiting even lower than that. So no average in. I mean, we're averaged in, but nothing too crazy yet on AMC, as I still think we can get back to the upside. But I am very, very nervous about that 58 level. So if you guys aren't seeing me getting into more shares That's why. I'm just waiting for 58 to come through, and then we can load up a little bit of a bigger position. But this is my trade. We're long right here, so nothing to worry about. It's just this is the spot. 59.50 is where we're long, so we're holding out for that trade a little bit lower than that to average in, guys.
And I see the question that you guys are asking about LKCO, but we did mention it hopefully well enough, but it was very quick, and I apologize for that. I did say if 250 holds, you have that 3 level, and I'll go to the higher time frame to show you. This is the 3. It's a lower high at that spike into 4. So that's where we get 250. Well, I mean, 250 is going to stand out because you had that level of support in the pre-market, and it already sort of made it. 3 just held on a spike up, like a parabolic move into that 3 price. This would normally be a short, but I can tell you, I did not get the locate, so we can slap myself in the face. And you guys, one of you guys, we'll wait till we actually get it, guys, if I can find the slap in the face, because I got to give it to myself here. You should always prepare by getting those shorts if you don't have them, the locates. It gave that look at 3 even. It pulled back in now, so I want to see if we can do it. We preach. We try to practice what we preach. We talk about that prep, knowing whether you can short or not for sure. A lot of these stocks usually are on our easy to borrow list. Today, LKCO isn't. It should have been something here at 295 for me, but I'll go ahead and see if we can't get those now. One of our viewers is looking to send in an interesting shirt that'll be a punishment for me. Until we get it, I don't want to spoil things, but I'm sure you can guess the nature of what's on that shirt.
Yep, we can guess that. Unfortunately, 59.80, we almost got going there. We were trying to get a little bit more out if we did break above 60 there on AMC. It tried, and then failed. So, wow, we almost got it back to positive there if we just broke through 60 there on AMC. So right now we'll wait on it, but 58.80 there, it's been the last little dump spot. So let's try it again. Well, actually, I'm waiting at 58.50. So there it comes right to the downside. So AMC now spitting more to the downside. It's been a big day for us today. So we're fine with everything. Just obviously wishing that this market would hold up on AMC, because then our day could be even more monstrous than it's already. Oh, don't tell me it just stops there again. I was just talking about getting it a little bit lower. So we'll see if we can get now some at 58 and 80 there, so back to upside. Again, unlike other channels, we just have a little bit of a different philosophy. We're trading a lot of different names here. We have to be flat at the end of every day, so please keep that in mind when we're talking about some of these levels here for AMC. They're not long-term holds. They're nothing like that. We're going to be flat at 4 o'clock every day, so it's a completely different game. Like, it can't go down to 57 and I'm still holding it. That just doesn't make any sense, because I don't think we have a $6 move back to the upside, right, from where we started. So that's sort of the logic there. If you can hold overnight, then it is a completely different game. So let's wait to see where AMC goes from here. But so far, so good on everything we've been trading today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the one that stands that test. LKCO did pay for those shorts. There is a bit of a level now. Look, if you miss it the first time, the second time through, you have to watch that actual test. You're going to let it actually hit that offer. There's about, I'd say 350,000 shares on the offer. And when it's done, 25 million is a $3 stock. That's actually not that big. I mean, it gives you liquidity, but in terms of being a wall, it's not a gigantic wall given the volume that it's churned through. So it just tested it a second time. That's your double top. You look to maybe play off that short, but this is like risk 2 or 3 cents. To try and make like 5 to 10 on that play. You're not letting it go through 3, you're not getting cute about it. So that's what I'll do here in LKCO. Time for the small cap recap. Let's go to the big screen and Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, pretty quiet morning in small cap land outside of that LKCO, so we'll talk about that in a second here, give you my take on it. But ENOB, I stood up here just before the open and talked about 7. 7 was kind of a pivot here on the daily chart. We obviously get nowhere near 7, so this move just continues to the downside. We are just trying to test 6 right now, should get down to 570 at some point, but very kind of slow, grindy type of trade this morning, but working nicely. If you were on the fade side, MNOV 525, I should say, and then 550. 2 levels to kind of mark down in your book, but another one that really didn't get any kind of a bounce at all this morning, just fading off nicely down to 450 now for MNOV. And I couldn't really find a way to get into this morning. I mean, it gave you that 275 level that obviously worked well on the long side. Huge volume came in on the break of the high of days, so mark that down as well. So volume, big volume at 290 here for this LKCO, but needs to hold 290 and then 275 for support now for that one, guys.
And as you mentioned, well, I mean, as you say it, Brendan, I don't know like how ridiculous this is going to get, but we just talked about LKCO double topping 3 and then taking like a short in the 90s. I was blind luck that it touches this level and I don't have the shorts and you get paid for the shorts, Brendan starts talking about it and this is the fall. Goes right in, we take them out in the 90s, we take them out in the 80s. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like that, it almost shouldn't work like that, but you just saw it here. So thank you very much at LKCO. If it does bounce off VWAP, remember that 275 Brendan just mentioned, that's a VWAP around here. That's why you scalp some off in front. I still have a little bit of shares left that I'll want to get out in front of that 75 level because I would anticipate at least a little bit of a bounce there. And here comes AMC. So this is the one that's going to be, well, it's not there yet, but don't cry over spilt milk if you can avoid it. But it is pouring out of AMC. The dip buys have given you these dollar wins or 75 cents to a buck, but zero follow through. And this is what we mean that washout bottom at 57, the higher low at 58. I mean, these two levels, if they both break, there's absolutely no way I'll still be long if they both go. But 58 is coming rather rapidly. We were able to get one leg out in the last bounce. This one here might have to take a couple out and then just live with the hit that continues to come with AMC.
Yeah, watching AMC to the downside. What else is new right now today? 55.50. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Okay, good. Thank you so much for whoever just, I forget who you were. Where was it? I wanted to say what's up to you. Oh, there it was. Ken H. Thank you so much, Ken H, for that. CCL is coming to the bottom. And again, some of these names were on our watches, which has been pretty fire here today. We could check out Nike that we haven't looked at, so we'll have to watch out for that one. Microsoft's been a big monster win, man. We didn't get out at the very top, but we did pretty damn good on Microsoft. 258 longs, out, as we come right back to near all-time highs there on Softy. That was a great out there. Our wish was the best trade possible. The day's low we have and the day's high. We have the day's low on Wish and the day's high on Wish. So right there, so that's pretty good. It doesn't get too much better than that. And then watch out for Boeing right now. This is the one stupid. Like we saw this $2 in the money as the S&P was starting to rock and roll, and then we started to fade out a little bit. Even though the S&P still at the highs, which is a little bit puzzling to me, was really expecting Boeing to stay up there. It didn't. So now we're going to get out if we break through VWAP. This appears to be broken. I don't really know why it's doing this on Boeing. In my opinion, it should still be up. You see the NASDAQ gives back, but look at the S&P, which is the ES. So all I got to do is switch the symbol here. Like we're still pretty high up, right? And I mean, and Boeing is like part of this. Like, so we got to get going there. We can check out what the Dow is doing, but right now S&P near highs and Boeing starting to come back again. So I'm happy we took the 50 cents, but it looks like we'll take flat on our next piece if it does break back down through 240. So yeah, Boeing's still a little bit of a puzzle to me. So we'll have to wait on that. And then AMC does go right back into the money for us about up to 59. Look at our average price, 59.22. So we're out of the money right now, 70 cents on AMC, guys.
Wow. Very, very similar prices there. I mean, the strategy is going to be the same on the dip buys. We give you guys the levels, and when it bounces, we try to take them out. This bounces on LKCO is happening a little bit higher. I mean, I thought we were going to get this, a little cluster down. That was a big, relatively speaking, a 15-cent drop on a $3 stock. It's a big candle down, so you get some consolidation, even if you're about to head lower. Just remember that 75. Did have that bit of a break and fail here at 280. So I am now going to get some out in front of 280 because that does stand out and looks like we're slowing down a little bit. It's a good short. We just don't want to make sure. We just want to make sure we take some out in front of VWAP. If it cracks, I think we can always be adding to it later. Brendo?
Just saw one that Mark was talking about this morning. Honeywell just popping up here, day highs. 2% today for Honeywell, 217. Volume, not the greatest, but nice look overall for Honeywell. They announced early on this morning they launched this battery storage system platform. So Honeywell, good day so far.
Honey. Just quickly, I want to go to, and we talked about this when it came to talking about the crypto space. You're still hanging on that 32.5, but looking still weak, and we talk about the microvision here continuing to show its weakness. Some of those stock names you'll see, even if you don't get the huge move down, they're going to be outsized moves, at least to the downside in retrospect. Maybe it's an extra percentage point or two. That's why we don't think they're the best vehicles in the world to day trade those moves. It is what it is. You guys can do. That's right, I said it again. You guys can do whatever you want. We just feel that sometimes they're good investment vehicles at times. It's just day trading for a $600 stock. It's a proxy, but I wouldn't want to get in and out of that one with the moves in spot that are happening. MNOV, we've been in this one all morning. It's now getting to that 450. I thought we'd already cracked this and be heading down to 425. It is starting to slow down a little bit on MNOV. We did miss this pop into 5. I was waiting for it to get a little bit closer to VWAP or at least up to 512. So there hasn't been a single trade since the pre-market on this one, and I should have had it at 5. From there is now 10% back into 5 even, so I will short 490 if it gets there on MNOV. There's always that one, or at least the goal for me is always one of these gap up retracements that I want to be able to be sitting in and look for those VWAP pops, but things move around a lot and I end up having trouble adding back into them. It is what it is. It's still a good one there, and I hope you guys are drinking a heck of a lot because you made it too easy for me.
All right, guys, Boeing right now. Here we go. You know, big time move there. So sometimes we do that, and sometimes this happens to us. We spit that cash out. We give you the big time level there on Boeing, and it comes right back to 240. We should have reloaded, but we did it. And because again, we didn't understand it. Remember, we talked about that. When you don't understand something, you got to get out. But at least it's right back to the upside now. So there's another $1.20 there for Boeing. So I mean, if you want the big wins, guys, we have them. I mean, that's been a huge top to bottom on Wish. We talked about that. Bottom, I mean, this is the bottom, right? You can't get a better print than this, 51. And then there's the better out 20s. So top to bottom there on Wish. We're trying to do something similar on Boeing. I'm going to stick an order now, man. Like if we can get like 241.50, this is not top to bottom, but there's a nice little 240 break. If we can get out somewhere around here, although I like how it just rejected 240 there. So we may have a little bit of a bigger upside surprise coming to us. And then there's a reload on Torch. So I think this is a good opportunity maybe to get some out now on that reload. Okay, let's get some out now. If we get some Mo 4s, we'll take it on Torch. Bang on Torch right there. So let's see if we can continue to have some kind of diamond hands on this name. Now 25 cents in the money on this. We did get a test back, right back down there. So it comes right back into the same level that we liked again. So 879 in, out 905. So right there's a good trade. Again, it's an averaged out price. So now you're going to see it how we have 878 longs now on that. So what's turned out to be not a great day is turning around for us. We just need AMC to go, and then this day becomes monstrous once again, guys. What's up, B?
2 days in a row here for Smith & Wesson on the list back on Friday. If you remember, there was earnings. We had aftermarket on Thursday, so a nice move on Friday. Rallied all day long. Continuation here, 10% continuation at that for SWBI. A couple of analysts worth noting increasing their forecast on this one today, guys.
So for those out there that are just tuning in here, we always have to be flat by the end of the day. I see Blackweed, interesting name there, of course. We always have to be flat by the end of the day. So every single trade has its own structure, but none of them are holding shares overnight. And that goes with long, short, it doesn't make a difference, guys. So we'll always try to tell you what the plan of action is for each position. Just so you guys know that LKCO does bounce off of VWAP here, so fair enough. We took most of it out. I'm going to get back in. If it gives me 98s again, look, you're risking 3 cents if you count the slippage there, maybe 4 in the absolute worst case scenario. So I would take more shares in front of that 3. I still want to get some in front of 280, and of course, as I say it, get that retracement. So there's a structure to every one of these trades. None of them are overnights. Come on. You got to break 59 here on AMC. I mean, every single time it bounces, it does not want to take out the next level up. We can show you that right here. I'm sitting above that next level upside here to take some more shares out. We got the last dip at that 58.50 area in front of 58. Continuously have offers, each dollar to the upside, while taking those cuts to the downside here on AMC. We're still going pretty well, waiting for that Wish trade. It either breaks it at the high of the day or we actually get a good dip price. AMC about to make another test at 59. At some point, if we don't get a break before lunch, I think you're probably looking at that like a 57 washout, and then maybe you'll get a bigger bounce to the upside. It's trying and trying and trying. This is probably the best it's looked in terms of not having a big continuation down. You look at this huge flush, another big flush here, you get a big flush. This time off this last flush into 58, it's a bit of a muted response. So if it can take out this 59, like half or so, I think you have a decent chance to get back into VWAP. But if you're scalp trading, that does mean you should be taking some profit out. If it's just a simple buy and hold and your support level is down 57, 57.5, fair enough, you can just hang on to it. But I'm scalping it here, so I'm gonna take some out on the way up.
Okay, guys, yeah, exactly. Here comes the upside right now. It's Torch as well. So this is a 40-cent win now. So what do we have on board right now? We're out of the money, 13 cents on AMC. We just took some out there. Torch, 35-cent winner, and then Boeing, a $1.27 winner. Wish, we've already talked about that. We've crushed that today. Microsoft, we've destroyed that today. So we're into only a few names today. AMC, Boeing, Microsoft, Torch, and Wish. We never got into that CCL. It tried to break the bottom. CCL, so you can, there it is. Yeah, no, it didn't. So it does come right to that bottom. Wow. We did put that on our list, guys, 27.85. And you can trade off these however you want. Okay, these are just key levels that I'm looking at, including Let's Go Ape Nation. See if AMC can go back to the upside right now. We are trying to offer a little bit higher than this right now. This is not horrible. Get some out right now. We'll go a little bit higher. higher, 59.91. There's a nice out. Let's go, AMC. Let's see if we can't hold this. Go, go, go. We'll see if we get back into the money on this name now. Come on, AMC, see if we can push it. We just talked about it. And if you're trading again for the first time, I mean, I'm going to put up our sticky note one more time here just to show you. Please follow me on Twitter. We're up to almost 21,000. Look what we talked about today. This is the AMC note, right? Retest 64 long. That doesn't happen. It only gets to 63. But waiting to retest 58, guys. Look at my price log, 58.90 right now. So there's the, you know, if you wait to test that 58, then you're laughing right now. So again, take these notes for whatever they're worth to you, but there's a great call. Hopefully you waited and you did load up like we did here at 58. It's a big trade for us. And then there goes Boeing as well. Just another one. DJ Khaled spitting out the cash down here, Brendo. How's your morning been, bud?
Not bad at all, guys. Full percent for the S&P now. Over, in fact, 1%. Banks are leading. It's all about the banks today. Wells Fargo here, WFC in charge as far as the percent anyways. 2.5% just made a day high again for WFC. The entire group, though, having a really nice day to start the week. It's 10:30, as I said. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Miss V's been watching what's happening over there. What's up, V?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are positive. British grocer Morrisons is up more than 30% after it rejected an offer worth more than $7 billion from Clayton, Dubilier, and Rice firm. Back to you.
Yeah, positive right across the board so far, guys. Good look.
Definitely not positive in ORPH, but we'll take the win when we get it anyways. Up 7 even. It just got down to that 625 area again. I covered in front of that recent low, and someone just asked in the chat there, is ORF a good long at this point? About the only thing I will say to that is, okay, well, if you're willing to gamble off of the pre-market low coming on Friday after the gap down, you're looking at like 615 or so. So there is a bit of a, if it bounces here, there's a reasonable stop level I think that you can put in. Just worth noting, when this all started, this was a $5 stock. I mean, $4 shortly before that as well. So there is plenty of room to the downside. Have a stop, whether it's 6 or 615. I can't think of a catalyst myself other than maybe a pure momentum play and then that rubber band effect coming back into the upside. So be very, very careful if you want to play into that one. LKCO. Of course, I spelled it wrong. LKCO does make that move back into VWAP, so that short off of 3 does look pretty good for now. We just got 280s, and then I want to see if it holds this cluster here. Just because it broke VWAP doesn't mean I'll short in front of the 75 area just yet. I still think the play is off that $3. Maybe it breaks that 250. If it tests 250, then maybe I would play off VWAP on a bounce. For now, I think we want to be taking it out in front of 260 and look for that 250 test. But shorts like that, off of $3, you can hold them a little bit, but I will always take the bulk out. If that's a short off size at 3 and a double top, to me, that's risking 3 cents to make 4 or 5x on the bulk of the position. If you can hang on for a bigger win, fair enough. But the way that I like to trade off those levels is bank that profit early in the move and then rinse and repeat. I'd still be looking for those mid 90s if I can catch another short on LKCO. MNOV still looks pretty good. Vino, by the way, don't get too far away from that stock. If it does want to hold some of those lows, I think it could have a second leg to it. I did get some out as well in front of this next level here. You saw me offering the entire time on AMC. This is the break we now need to see. It flushed out below 58.50, holds 58. If it can now hold one of these higher lows, I mean, it doesn't really matter which one, guys. If it can hold one of these higher lows, you're talking like 58.50 to 58.75. I'd still take some around 60 even. I shouldn't even split hairs. Whatever price we get between 75 and 25 on some kind of a slowdown on a pop, that's where I'd look to cover the next leg. And then, of course, if you can't tell, this cluster here, we got it a couple of times, 60, 75. That would be the next target to the upside, while still holding a core position to the long the entire way on AMC. You had to take profits on this way down if you wanted to get green on the stock. Otherwise, you're just holding it the whole way through and looking for a break back of that high of the day, which not impossible, but looking less and less likely the longer this session goes on.
Yeah, so we are actually right now, we just took some out there on AMC. So that's exactly what we did and trying to reload as well. So good trade there on AMC. We're really happy with it. We'll walk on a little bit of water there. And we'll also do it for this one, man. I mean, Boeing, we've been talking about this. Really happy to have the hands for this one because there it goes, $1.50 in the money now and still making moves to the upside, as well as our torch, man. Our torch is doing pretty good. We took another piece out there at 9.05, just noticing that we've stopped at 9.30 a couple times, so we'll take out another 50-cent winner if we can. Here it comes. we just got out. Bang! We just talked about that. So chicken dinner winner. Like I was literally just looking at that stock. It was just at 9.05, guys. And there's a nice little move upside. So yeah, we're celebrating tonight. Although we had chicken last night there for Father's Day, I wanted to throw up the barbecue. We had some boneless, skinless there on chicken breast. And then we'll wait to see tonight. I don't know what's tonight, but it's raining now, so I don't know. I still barbecue in the rain, but has to wait to pick up some nice sausage. We'll see what does happen tonight. A few things on the go in the Katina household. 950 looking to go upside as well, man. Boeing still going. This has just been a big day for us.
And LKCO continues to go to that downside, and we're going to continue to watch it. There was one that we did miss. Well, I'll say I missed it for sure, and that was going to be Lordstown. I saw some people talking about this one. There's an investigations, insider selling in Lordstown. It didn't really move it much in the pre-market. That's probably why I thought you could get a bit of a cluster trade here. And it did give it to you off that open. Of course, we knew we were going to be looking at several stocks. We had 3 positions off of the open, and we added to that very quickly. So Ride didn't end up being one of them. You are breaking back now down through $10 on Lordstown. And yeah, it's going to be a significant level. It's not 10 even. You're going to look here, that's 975, that's 975, that's 975. 975, a big level here on Lordstown. If it can hold that, maybe it gives you another short of 1050. But that kind of a break does take you right down into 888. Thank you guys for getting us to 1,500 likes. But do stick around. We've got that Q&A coming up, guys. I'm not going to hit the button here. We got the Q&A coming up. Mark Roberts stepping through right after the end of the show. We'll take a bit of a break and then answer all of your questions. Like, why ride 888? Because that's where it happened to flush out to on that absolute wipeout low that it had. Of course, you guys saw the short sale report there. 888 is that bottom. It is a double bottom, significant level in the event that we get a 975 break, which I will be shorting.
All right, so it was good out there. Yeah, and someone saying, barbecue in the rain, haha, love it. Yeah, remember, I can't, this is self-proclaimed, right? 19 years teaching, loves fantasy and sports betting, that's for sure. Had the Hawks +7, wish we had them on money line yesterday. Father of 3, if you don't include my cat and dog there, and then self-proclaimed master of the grill, which I need a new grill right now. So yeah, we're gonna be barbecuing 24/7, even in the winter. Snow can be up to, as long as it's not like more than the barbecue and I can lift the lid, we'll do it. So, okay, good out on Torch. We're still waiting for 970. That's where my offer is on that one. So we'll see if we can get some love on Torch to the upside there. Boeing still going in AMC all the way back down, almost near a reload spot of 58.50. But we've really limited the damage on AMC. I'm actually proud of myself how I've traded this. I just, we can't only go as high as the stock takes it. So if it continues to climb, we'll hold it. If not, then we got to play this averaging in game. A person you don't want to play around with too much unless it's on the golf course. Brendan Wickens, that's a good looking board, my friend.
Yeah, definitely very positive. Let's go have a look at the S&P 500 here. There's not a lot to talk about as far as anything that's down, but right now 1.1% in positive territory. You can see semiconductors offsetting in the tech group to the downside. NVIDIA 4% to the downside today for NVIDIA today. Big week last week, obviously, for this group. 2.5% there for AMD, XLNX, ENPH as well. To the downside, look at PayPal just popping out there, 1.4% in the software group. But otherwise, very, very positive for this group today. I want to direct your attention up here. Etsy, 2% downside. Everything else in the retail group in positive territory. Durable goods also nicely higher. Consumer services nicely higher. So these two groups kind of, they are positive, but not as much as some of the industrials and the financial group. I said it's all about the banks today. Every single insurance company, diversified financial and bank in positive territory. Up here in the industrial group, capital goods, the entire thing in positive territory. FedEx, UPS up here leading the way as far as transportation names are concerned, about 3% for both. Some of the commercial goods down here as well, also 2 to kind of 2.5% in positive territory. Far corner over there, material stocks are higher. Energy stocks, somebody pointed out that big move in oil. Yeah, look at the energy group having quite the day as well. 5% for Apache. Marathon, EOG, Halliburton, they're all here. 4+% for energy stocks. Real estate stocks having a nice day as well. Overall, 1.1% now for the S&P. Back over to you.
Yeah, I just put it on here in the chat. If anybody knows of any deals or anything in the GTA, that's the Greater Toronto area, for barbecues. I'm seeing that there's some nice talk here. I was thinking about a green egg there to improve on the barbecue. So you guys, that's what that is. We'll wait to see. If I do, you guys check out Twitter there. I'll be posting out any new barbecue purchases. So that'll be coming through. And I like the options there. So you guys let me know. Maybe one of you owns a barbecue shop and you could give me a sweet deal. That'd be pretty nice. Okay, $1.71 now in the money. I give you trades, you give me barbecues. There goes Boeing. And there it is, man. We'll just keep going this. This is the love that we're giving. You send me barbecues. We'll keep doing some trades. How about $2 now in the money on Boeing? So a great little upside move here happening for BA. Microsoft's been a huge one. Torch has been a good one. And then Wish, we're still waiting for that one. Yeah, I see the Weber Summit there. I know all about barbecues. Don't worry. Right now, I do have a Next Grill. So that's been a good one. Loving Boeing. Thank you. No problem there. You own the best barbecue on earth. That's great. Let me know which one that is. You want me to moonwalk with these kicks? Maybe later we'll do that there, guys. Yeah, Smoker's nice with the ribs, pulled pork, things like that. We're doing it all. So, all right, more upside here on the market. We're just going to watch Boeing. It's really the only thing that I'm invested in heavily right now. And then, of course, we just average into our AMC. So let's see how far this goes. We just got double averaged in right there, guys.
Yeah, AMC is going to be the one. I mean, you can certainly tell that. I only have like the shorts that are basically sitting in and looking pretty sexy here. But ALF is back on the radar on a big volume spike here. It just made a press in, it just made another press in here into 880s, guys. And there you go, D. Thank you for the super chat. I just noticed ALF. Last time it got to 9. It got up to like 9.10, 9.11 in reverse, but you look at a level like that and you see another parabolic move into it. Guys, you look at that daily chart, like it's that same level. That's going to be that line in the sand. A lot of shorters, myself included, are people that look at that sort of a pattern. They look where the bag holding might be, and in the short term, it's exactly a 10% move up, right into another resistance level. I'd like it to press a little bit further because it just broke the high into that 9 even area. It got to like 885. Of course, as I say it, I don't quite get into the range I would have liked to grab that short off of like a 911 area, but this is why it makes that little push back. This is why it pushed back the first time at 870, and probably the why it gets sold off here as well. So it's still in that range. You can make another test of that high. It's about 9 and change. So if you like the stock, you're in it to the long side, there's a reason why it's pulling back. Taking profit, not a horrible idea. Always pull back to the higher time frame when you're looking at these breakout stocks, because it's pure momentum at that point, right? All about the momentum play and all about where people look to take their shares off for profit or look to jam some shorts.
Okay. Yeah, just looking at some notes we had here. AMC now coming back. It just resisted that 59, level there. So we could take a little. Did I not get hit there? What am I on? That 59.02? What the? I thought I was at 59 even. We'll adjust that as we go to the upside now on AMC. We do want to break through 59 and just get me out, so I don't need to change it. There it is. So that's a nice win there again. Not diamond hands, but we're starting to spit out some cash now finally for AMC as we go to the upside now. 58.61. I'm going to cancel that. 59.19. Let's see, how high did we get last time? 59.50 is kind of where we stopped. So I think like a 59.40, if we're lucky enough to get that, we'll take that out and take another 80 cents. We're in the money now, 40 cents on AMC. So I'm not going to talk a position down that we're crushing on, but it hasn't been great on AMC. We're just wishing for a little bit of a move back. We picked up some nice bottoms here. Let's see if we get going here. And a shout out to everybody trading this name. Let's see if it can go, man. We'll see if the apes, these are some big ass diamonds. We'll see if they can come through. Hopefully it does with some of these hands to the upside right now through 60. Looking for it to get back to VWAP 60.35, but that's a little ways away at this point, guys.
And but what's not that far away is going to be Wish. We talked about that 25 area break. It did happen last week and it failed at 50s. I think it's coming in again. AMC, which cannot even get back up to VWAP. Meanwhile, Wish looks like it's trying to make that bit of a breakout back into the upside here. It's been a good dip buy, but there's been other opportunities. AEI, another one from this morning. It's making another press. As I say, it's making another press. It just pulls back off of VWAP, but it had just made this nice strong move on a push into 7 even. It is now sort of failing that price range. I was about to tell you guys, it breaks 7. I'm looking at about 780 for a bit of a short and a stop in front of that price. I would probably short in like the 50s or 60s. For now, it looks like that move has slowed down. So 7 still has to break for that setup to come into play. Wish could be the next one here. It is pennies away from breaking that high of the day. It has tested it multiple times. It feels like at some point, Wish has to give that move to us. I've been waiting for it all morning long. It's kind of crazy. Vino looks pretty solid. There's Wish. If you just complain eventually, no, you should not complain to get what you want. That is not a good way to go about it. But as always, if I take a breakout trade, I'm always going to scalp out the first move. So we get that quick little 10-cent move in on Wish. Now you get that snap back. It happens, look, you see this happen all the time on breakouts. You get that push up, it immediately retrace. That is a crazy dark pool wick. That did not happen. It did not print 1277. Otherwise, you'd see me get some shares out. 1250 is where it failed last time. We went into the last week. So will I take some out in front of 1250? Of course I will. And then if it dips back in, you look for that quick little dip buy, probably in the 10 to 20 range, somewhere wherever it slows down there. So Wish on the move. Of course, that means AMC is pulling back because those two can't go in the same direction, obviously, Sean.
Guys, and if you can't join, if you can join us at any time, make sure you check this out. I put this out at 8:26, right? And here's Wish, 12:25, multi-day, right? So there it is. So we're long now. I mean, again, like Neil said, sometimes you just have to be nice, but we already had this an hour and a half or 2 hours ago, and I know we were all looking at that level. So once again, guys, here it is. We're going to do it again. We'll floss it off. It's a big win for us on Wish. That's just what we've been doing today, man. We had the bottom of Wish, then we had the top of Wish, and now we have Wish again as it continues to move to the upside. Good couple outs there, 43s, 44s, and now we'll just watch this continue to make moves, man. Boeing as well, a top trade right now, 242. Probably going to think about getting out if we fade out now. Big move to the high side. The ES now up 1.22%. AMC fading, man, but we're only long at 58.60, so not a huge problem. But here comes right back to that 58 level. So watch out below. It looks like we're going to test right now. AMC is going to be one of my only negative stock. We're going to be slightly negative on Torch again, but we still have that trade. And then Wish, we're rocking and rolling as that's pulled back though, but we're still long at 30s, guys.
Yeah, you gotta love that Wish trade. It's been a fantastic one. Jump into our chat after, not chat, our Q&A session after. The higher low on AMC was 57.50, but remember, 57 broke when it came in on Friday. Those guys who are watching the afternoon show, you guys know all about this, right? It broke that 57 and was a snap back long style trade. So you want to look to see if 58 can hold. That's great, but 57 is probably the even bigger level. If it's as good as you think it is, a lot of times you'll get the bounce higher, which is why we're anticipating that 58. Brendo?
That's Moxie. A couple of people talking about Moxie. Not seeing anything terribly exciting as far as catalyst for this, but 13 guys breaking on big volume, up 15%. Just consolidating here. Near day highs for Moxie in once again.
Moxie. Palantir, Sean for real now. Okay, you want to see Palantir? Okay. That's from Brian James there. What's up, my friend? Yeah, now it's starting to, okay, so you guys had it. I mean, all you have to do is just follow what I say there, Brian, and hopefully you'll get that too, because we've been looking at, and we missed it, completely missed this one. It's not even on my list today. We completely missed that. You guys would have, I mean, that's a big time level, 24.50. We've been talking about that over and over again. It's not going to look great on the daily chart, but every single time we get to a 50 level on Palantir, it's a load up worthy spot. So good on you guys for trying to load that up if you did. And now goes Palantir to the upside. But remember, like, okay, we'll put up the NASDAQ here. The NASDAQ's going to be positive, I assume, is it? Yeah, so +3 and Palantir's still down. So I don't, I'm not in love with any longs until Palantir starts acting properly with the NASDAQ. So obviously you get a big move down. That would have been the time to buy it. But I don't want to play up here on Palantir now as we are still negative with the NASDAQ being into positive. So I like the NASDAQ to come down a little bit if we can get near 14,000 and pick up some Palantir back around 25. That would be the game plan for me on that name. So watch out for that on Palantir. There goes Wish, by the way. Man, I wish I told you about this at 8:30, but guess what? I already did. Spin it on the sticky note, guys.
Yeah, and remember that 1250 level as well from last week, that high, that also broke, so we're going to take that break as well. We're going to take every significant level on the way up. 1275 and 13 are going to stick out for those same reasons, guys. So, Wish continues to power to that upside. Here comes that 57 test down here on AMC. This is the last line in the sand for AMC as far as I'm concerned. If it makes a break to the downside there, I'll just get out of that long. So there'll be that and Torch that are no good for me, although position pending, of course. This is going to be Wish, but I was willing to get a bit of a dip, and of course the original break would have been down around that 12.15. At this particular point, you'd be looking back at that 12.25 area if it makes a move back into the downside. No guarantees that it will on Wish. And watch out for that MNOV. I'm still holding on to it, which might be a little bit crazy. This might be the last little bit of a level here. If it breaks 450 back to the upside, I'm just going to cover this one. It's now found a bottom, at least a bit of a barcoding bottom at 435. And at some point throughout lunchtime, you want to make sure you get out of these if you're running in the money all morning long with one of these shorts. We'll not let 450 go and fail to take that profit.
All right, I guess 56. I mean, I don't know what to do now. As AMC just continues to go to the downside, it's going to be our big loser here today. Is going to be AMC. Boeing, just to give you guys a brief update, we're going to make sure that we put $1 in our pocket, right? So it's already a $1.50 winner. We're long at 240 even right there. That's the price. We've already taken out at 50 cents. That was nothing. But if we could take another dollar, same trade. But if we can end it at $1, we'll do that. I like to hold for the upside though on Boeing, and I think we can take out this 242, and then we'll really be laughing if we're able to get that opportunity through on the board. But who knows on that one. And then here goes back AMC, man. We just talked about it. We took a little bit of a bid down there at 57.50. So our average price 58.30. We'll see how far we can go from here. But yeah, it's still a downward spiral here for AMC today. So got to be very, very patient. Hold your cards close, and we'll see what happens now at that 56 level. Maybe even a break of 57 is going to be pretty painful for many too. There's that bottom, man, 56.83 from Friday. So that's like just staring us in the face there. That was that 56.80 level that I was just talking about, guys.
And the way I look at it with a trade like that is if it breaks that and I make the bottom wick, so be it. I'm a day trader at the end of the day. So as always, every time we buy a dip in front of those levels, you put some targets out there on the way back up in front of the important clusters to catch that bit of a bounce, and then you rinse and repeat that price action. This is interesting because they're going in opposite different directions. And if AMC makes a bottom, there's this weird thing. They haven't been correlated, obviously, with Wish breaking the high, but as AMC hits that bottom, Wish just maybe hit a top. Now, this wasn't a real wick. Now, those that have that whole, yeah, but look at those crazy prints on the dark pools. That meant it's going to that price. Well, this crazy print went up to 1277. It's not real. And then it just made a move to 75. Now, I said quarters, 50, 75, so I'm going to have an offer at 73 when it gets there. It's now pulling right back in. So with any luck, this pullback means that AMC is going to make a bounce because they've been going in opposite directions. Although, as I say it, here comes the low of the day on AMC. So as good as Wish has been, AMC has been just as bad to the downside. Money talks. Let's go to Brennan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, a few minutes ago, let's get a quick look at currency markets so far today. Not a lot as far as volatility goes for the US dollar. So moves are muted, to say the least. Threw a few more pairs on here just to get a look at what is actually moving around. The pound yen making moves to the upside today. Euro yen as well, 0.6 to the upside. Russian ruble, Valeria, up nicely today, about 0.2% on the day. To the downside, you can see most of the usuals, but the moves are very, very muted, as I mentioned, to the downside. So a little bit of underlying US dollar strength. Wanted to mention Bitcoin at the bottom there. You can see we're right here, right now, this last low area. 32.9, 33,000 area, but you got to go back over to this side to see 30,000 and change was where we ended up on that support day. So we're at big time levels here, guys, for BTC, but otherwise pretty quiet on the currency markets. Back over to you.
Quiet, huh? Okay, yeah, we're just looking here. I mean, I'm trying to trade a lot of these different names here, including AMC, but right now, just not fading out for us. Just continues to go to the downside. We've talked about that a little bit on the show today, if you've noticed a little bit there with AMC, as it just continues to make that march down to that ominous level that we don't like, which is going to be that 56.80, guys. So just tread very, very lightly. Here it comes.
Yeah, and here it comes to the downside. Wish pulls back hard, but it does hold. And look at that break. Remember 1225 break? That pullback off of 50 got you right into 35s. It snaps off that level, and once we see it hold one of those pullback levels, we get in. I was able to get some shares here at 44, scalp out in front of 50. I'll get some out in front of 60 as well, anticipating that this break could turn into a peak high, and then you get another consolidation here. You want to take that profit because it looks like we're taking out that low. I mean, AMC is right here, right now. It's that line in the sand. We got that last little dip by, and we're testing the bottom. So I don't want to get caught both these breaking back. Wish will have worked to the upside. AMC almost never did here. We were able to get some good scalps off it before, but now you're getting deeper retracements without any pullbacks, and that is low of the day. I'm not shorting through the low. I just feel like that's a little bit of fool's gold. But if you're going to look back to another level after this is now broken, it's either the halt, and if it halts to the downside, I think that's going to be a big opportunity. But then look at this double bottom here at 52. And this is why I cannot hold past this. If it retests and bounces at 55, maybe there's something there, because below that, you're literally talking about a level at 52 here on AMC. And for the first time in a while, testing and looking like it might have one of those halt opportunities, which when AMC does it, I want to level up.
Yeah, exactly. AMC, very, very difficult trade today. If anybody's been looking long, it just really hasn't given it to you. We're still here, though. I'm going to take this all the way down to 55, guys. So we'll average into this AMC. And again, man, let's just wait to see where it goes from here. We're getting ready to wrap up the show. So I have no idea where we're going to go from here. But I do think that we do have some sort of protection. We've been down here before. So again, let's just average in. It's not that many averages in, guys. It's like 3 or 4 right now because we were able to get some out. So our average price is not great, but it's 57.74. It's only 70 cents out, guys. So it's only 70 cents out. So definitely not a panic spot yet, but there is some downside coming. We've already experienced it. So let's wait to see where we go now. Nice little long pickup there. We could get some out right now, maybe even, and limit some of this damage. So there we go. So we will get out. Look, averaged in, out. So now we'll see if we can get back up here. You see where the average price is. So we're only out of the money now, 50 cents. So let's go AMC. Let's see if we can't turn this position back into a little bit of a profitable one here with AMC, but you got to stay strong on some of these names. Wait till that. Anyways, that's basically going to be my whole morning. If AMC goes back upside, then we'll celebrate big time. If not, then it's still been a good morning. We've had Microsoft, Boeing. You can see Boeing still $1.20 in the money, waiting to take out the highs with the NASDAQ going. I think that's possible. Microsoft, what the hell? Okay, and I guess this was a good pickup, but a bad out again. This always happens on Softy. This is what? Is this new all-time highs on Microsoft right now? Let's just double check that. We've been buying, yes, sir. We've been buying this one hand over fist as well down at the 240 area. So damn it, that should have been a $3 winner for us on Softy. But anyways, as you know, that's how it goes. Today's been a kind of hot dog day if you've been able to stay away from AMC. But other than that, we are getting ready to wrap this show up, guys.
We are, and remember, we are going to also be doing our Q&A. You guys know it, you guys love it. We have a lot of fun doing it. I have to take this LKCO position off. I thought we'd go down to 260, but look at this. We're holding 265, so I'll just get on the bid here. It was a good one at 3. I'll give the assist to Brendan because he randomly talked, and then somehow we got a double test and kind of a miracle fill. There is one thing we do that you guys might know every single day, and we're going to go to Miss V. She's got the green on. We're back above 14,000, so everything is good, and you can celebrate with what national day it is, I think.
Hey guys, it's a great trading day so far. I wish you to stay profitable and remind you that you can find the link for Q&A on the live chat, on our Twitter page or community pages. Well, we'll see you at Q&A. We'll see you in the afternoon at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And happy National Peach and Cream Day, everyone.
The treat is fantastic. The song by 112 is, well, if you're an R&B guy like me, it's a bit of a classic if you're at least in my age group. So shout out to 112. They're a fantastic group. It's a great song. It's a great treat. I would eat that all day long. And yeah, whatever. If you guys know what the song is about, then you get why I'm chuckling. Do not forget, come right back, or don't go anywhere, I should say, because we're coming right back with our Q&A session. The stock father himself will be joining us. So line up, get your questions ready for all of our members there, guys. And it's not too late to sign up, of course. Ms. V is going to have that link, like you said, even in the community page. So there's no excuse not to be there. If you want to, we'll get to as many questions as is humanly possible, I guess would be the best way to put it there. I just got flat on that LKCO, so that's been a solid one. AMC, for me, going to be no good as it continues to make that bottom. I didn't make bottom wick, so if this thing gets back up to 60, I'm gonna give Sean the daps, and then I'm gonna say to myself, at least I didn't make the bottom wick, and we'll wrap this one up in just a couple of seconds here. We know it's a bit of a mover, but I want to hear what your thoughts on that tweet of the day, Sean.
Peaches and cream is good. Yeah, we like that for sure. Again, not a huge sweet tooth. I'd rather just have plain peach. Anybody in the GTA knows about Niagara on the Lake. So you got to go there. Valeria, have you been to Niagara on the Lake to grab some of those tasty, tasty peaches?
I've been in Niagara,
yes,
but I'm not sure on the lake.
So
Is
no
it the
peaches,
same
okay.
thing?
Yeah, well, first of all, you can go down a barrel down the falls, but don't do that. If you're going to go to Niagara Falls, go to Niagara on the Lake. Beautiful wine country and beautiful peaches. Brendan, I'm sure you're a fan of peaches.
Of course. Some of the best in southern Ontario, as you were saying. However, guys, I don't think I've ever had peaches and cream, which is maybe strange, but I don't recall a time I've ever had that.
I need it because you know I'm a fiend. That's the line. Anyways, it's a great group 112. We're right back.
Look at Wish, by the way. Woo!
Wish making, oh my goodness, Wish is still going. What a fantastic one, right through that quarter mark. Look, 13 is the next level on that. Every single quarter it's made a bit of a stop. Don't forget also, we have the Q&A coming up, but we're also back at the close, 3:15 for that fast 45 minutes. Been a fun week, been a fun opening to the week, and it should continue with the entire team. Ms. Valeri in the green, the new green, and it's good luck for Brennan Wickens, myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you at the Q&A and then back at the close.
Bye, guys.